Buckle up. Woo! Man, I'll tell you, I love where we are on the sports page because every time I see football dominating the sports page, that's when I know the NFL season in college football is right around the corner. Absolutely awesome. And by the way, hey, I got to tell you, man, no doubt, shows like this and shows that are streaming are kicking the shit out of mainstream radio. Look at what that Taylor Swift and that New Heights podcast show did with Taylor Swift and the Kelsey brothers yesterday. First 16 hours, 10 million people have viewed that thing. And like they had 1.3 million folks live viewing that show. That shows you no radio show gets that. Nobody gets that. And this is why the NFL is getting into streaming. Netflix, Amazon, they see the writing on the wall. Radio stations, television networks are starting to get their ass kicked. More people last month viewed YouTube than lamestream television, which is insane. Networks have to be panicking on that. And what they're going to do is that's why you see off companies like Paramount. That's why you see Peacock and stuff like that, because they know that's where it's going. I mean, incredible. Incredible where we're going today in sports. Absolutely insane. And that benefits you and your show. Hey, I was just telling Xander. How about this one? 97.5 in Beasley. Okay? They're in the process of taking bids to sell the station. That's what's being reported and out there. Beasley's going to get out of the sports talk business. And maybe someone else does it. I don't know. How's that for you? Sills, you're the male version of Taylor. That's right, baby. Big name. I got it. Hurts, you will not make this pass, ya Jaguar. Hey, I will say this to you, dude. We're going to get to Jalen in a minute. And here's the legendary pump right out of the gate. I told you guys, Super Chats are the only thing that takes Big Sills off the monologue. Those all go to the top. Please hit the like button. We've got another show lined up for you today. We will have Gary Cobb, who was at, get this, he was at Cowboy camp yesterday. He was in Oxnard, and he was at Cowboy camp. He still may be there, covering it for Fox 29 in Philadelphia. Heard it was a Browns smoking Joe Flacco. Turned back the clocks, drinking beers post-practice. Now we got our QB smiling himself. How you doing, Pump? How you doing? Hey, I hear the Browns are kicking the shit out of the Eagles. Man, how you doing? Is this something? We're going to get to the topics here in a minute. Do we have a controversy? Do we have a controversy? And here we go. The offense has been struggling this training camp. Why? Because we're trying new things. The run game, once again, is the run game. Passing game blows out loud again. I mean, yesterday we found out that AJ wasn't considered one of the top 5 wide receivers. We now know why. What is going on at training camp? The Philadelphia Eagle offense is struggling? Why would that be? Why would that be? Here, hey, hold on for a second. Here we go again. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. By the way, John McMullen and Xander will be on right after us. Please hit the like button here. So instead of me talking, why don't we, listen to some of the things that people who were actually at the practice, what they saw. I haven't read anything. All I said was, I'm going to post something and I'm going to put something here and I'm going to read it to people. Sills, our cornerback are trash, just like the LBs last year. No, you're right. I'm sure that's going well. Boom. You got shit at CB2. Here we go. I'm just going to read from WIP, your local and most beloved sports talk radio, because we officially are your most coveted station to cover your birds and the NFL. Okay, so I'm going to get someone else's opinion. Brian Pumper, you ain't not an Eagle fan. Go smell Dak's jockstrap and Mark Holmes, you cupcake. There you go. That's a Philly guy right there, baby. So what I'm going to do is your most beloved radio station. Okay? Not Big Sills. Your most beloved radio station. So let's see how the joint practice went today. Let's just read it. Okay? All right. Day 15, day 2 with the Browns, joint practice. It was not a bounce-back day for Jalen Hurts and the offense. What? Let me go here again. Wait, this can't be because this guy is an absolute blowhard here. It was not the bounce-back day Hurts and the offense likely hoped for coming off of a turnover-filled day in day 1. Man, that's not Big Sills. That's someone else. I said the offense has been struggling the entire offseason. Now, someone who's been there every day. Is the first line? Can't be. I have to read it one more time. It was not the bounce-back day Hurts and the offense likely hoped for coming off a turnover-filled day 1 versus the Browns? So you're sucking against the Browns? Okay. Old news, biatch. Old news, biatch. Biatchity beach. Old news. Let's continue. Hurts and the offense didn't have a passing touchdown in the 5 11-on-11 sessions that the first team offense had the ball. The majority of those snaps were from the 25-yard line in. He had 2 chances at touchdowns to throw to Devontae in the corner of the end zone, but both were overthrown. What is going on with Prince Hurts? If there was a positive, here we go. It was Hurts didn't put the ball in harm's way and didn't turn it over one day after he could have had 3 interceptions. That was a step in the right direction. There you go. Hurts didn't make the same mistakes he made the day before in turning the football over. So, in other words, in the 2 days against the Browns, he's blown. Okay? In Hurts' defense, see? There you go. You got an M. Reyes feel to this. You know, M. Reyes likes reach-arounds. So here's a reach-around by this guy from IP. You know, I mean, M. Reyes could write this article too, but he probably wouldn't really report the truth because Bob Lane would totally love a guy like M. Reyes. Because you know what he would be? He'd be a perfect hire. You know why? He would glaze the Eagles as much as he possibly could, and he would never tell the truth. As a matter of fact, he should really audition for the job as sideline reporter for the ultimate knee job when it comes to covering the Eagles because he'd be a perfect guy for it. Absolutely perfect in covering the Eagles. Because swear to you, Hurts could have 5 picks in a game and he would tell you, elite. And he's perfect for Bob Lang. If I were him, I would really seriously consider applying for that job. Or at least a job at IP. Because here on our show, that guy would be laughed out of the building. So let's continue. Elite. In Hurts' defense, the first team offense didn't have A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, Lane Johnson, and Landon Dickerson. Of course he's going to suck when he doesn't have his team loaded. Hello. How you doing? Thank you very much. He just validated everything I said. Take those dudes off the team, he's mediocre. That is the obvious factor. He just took a shit on Jalen Hurts and didn't know it. He just took a shit on Jalen and didn't know it. Good quarterbacks are supposed to overcome deficiencies on your team, not fall in the tank. Holy shit. This guy just took a shit. Let me read that again. This is the guy from IP. In Hurts' defense, his first team offense didn't have A.J. Saquon, Landon, or Lane. That is obviously a factor. No shit, it's a factor. He ain't that good. I mean, what do you think? He's Josh Allen? Need a break. It's still. Ending the 2 days against the Browns without a strong showing has to be disappointing for Hurts and the offense, as they don't look very crisp during the joint practice sessions. C- for Jalen Hurts. Wow. All I'm seeing lately is C-, D+, C's, C-, D+. What's going on? Oh, hearken. What could possibly be? What's going on here? It's like the Marvin Gaye song. What's going on? How can the Super Bowl elite suck throughout the entire training camp? What's going on, Philly? Thank you, James. Get this. No, they evaluate in practice because, get this, Lamar, you don't play preseason football. Now, if you had a preseason where you put your players in, then we truly get a different evaluation. But if you're only going to practice, you have sucked in practice. Correct? So, the defending world champs have no right corner and a strong case for nobody at safety, and depth issues on defense, and the offense and the passing game has absolutely blown. See, here's why M. Reyes is great for covering the Eagles for WIP. This is why he's great. Folks, Nick Sirianni, who spoke today, will kind of slap M. Reyes around with this, okay? We'll slap him around because you know why? We elevate and evaluate in our practice. Ha, 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 LOL. You don't use the games. You use practice. LOL. A la douchebag. Woo! What's going on? I agree, Sue. What the F? LFG? Question mark? Oh, yes. Tell me what team could win without their top players. Without your boy. Josh Allen doesn't have elite players on offense. And he wins 14 games every year. He doesn't have elite players. He's got good players. He don't have elite players. 0 elite players. 0. M. Reyes can get the Mike Missinelli job. Oh, my God. Well, he's going to have to learn. M. Reyes is going to have to learn, like, to spin pretty soon oldies and maybe polka music, because they're probably going to sell the station and there's going to be polka music on, I would think, in Philly. Polka music makes sense. So you're going to get polka music on 97.5. I heard that Kincaid is already prepping and he's getting the top polka guys on in the history of polka music, because that thing's getting ready to change formats to modern polka. Come on over, guys. It's okay. You can come here, man. You got an opportunity to talk here. Hey, Sills, you're my guy, brother, and respect the truth in the big Sills way. But it also seems you're hell-bent on being right despite some takes last year. No, I'm not. No way. Hell-bent on being right? I don't think you're going to Super Bowl. What's the take on that? I don't think you're going to be good at right corner. I don't think you're going to be good at safety. I think you're going to be marginal at edge. I think this kid, Moro Jomo, is probably going to be better than what people thought. I think you're going to struggle at the guard positions this year compared to a year ago in the last 3 years. Everything I've said from day one, February, not 11th, because we waited for, because of the parade went on, it's still going on. But those are my takes. You will not be good at the other corner. Safety will be marginal. I think you'll be suspect at edge and depth. I think you're going to struggle at the guard positions. I don't care who Jeff Stoutland is. That doesn't mean you're not going to be a good football team, but you're now in the room with everyone else. You're still a good team. You got too many good football players not to be. Okay? Clickbait? No, it's called an opinion, douchebag. That's called an opinion. Okay? And I'm not giving you a reach around to make you feel better about yourself, because I said already, I gave you one and that's it. I said you're still going to be good. Sills, we're looking at preseason practice through the regular season lens. That's because the ownership and the coaching staff and the talent evaluators look at preseason and practice through the lens of the regular season, Bob. Bob, you keep missing that point. That they look at practice and they look at the preseason, the way you practice with these joint practices, like it is a regular season evaluation time. You keep missing that point. They don't use the exhibition games. If they use the exhibition games, it'd be a different conversation. But the only way they evaluate is off of the joint practices and how you practice in a game. Sills, you're like Eli with your takes. 500. How you doing? Let me see. 21, I was exceptional. 22, I was exceptional. 23, I was amazing. 24, got you. You're right. 25, I'm off to a fucking banging start on what I said all offseason. And you know what? Don't worry. Those JAKIB Sports knee pads will be passed out as Christmas gifts with a bow on it. From Big Sills. Bow at the waist. How you doing? Yeah, don't worry. We're back. It's good. I see it. I know what's up. Just like at 23 when I told you all you fishes. And M. Reyes is trying to fucking tell me at 10-1 he were ground. Like, that team is not that good. We shall see, my friend. And by the way, like I said, I still think you got a shot at getting to the NFC title game. Anyone can have. Hey, by the way, let me see this here. What's that got to do with my fucking takes? What, because you think he comes on here and gives his takes that's changing my opinion? Are you fucking mad? I've been doing this for 40 fucking years, son. Are you crazy? What, your little rescue guy? Hey, Sanders got a great opinion too. There's no glazing on this network. We glazes anybody. When things go sideways, everybody on this, John is very critical of certain things on this team. We don't glaze here like IP. Nobody glazes. This is one of the best networks with people I've ever been on where everyone is fair. Do you get that? It's fair. There's no knee jobs here. Let me tell you this. I'll give you one thing here. If Xander really wanted to be, and Joe Krause, Xander, this is to you. If Xander and Joe Krause really wanted to bend and be a fanboy network, they'd fire me. They'd fire me a long time ago. That's all you need to know, douchebag. They'd have fired me a long time ago if they wanted to be one of those stations like Philly where you get knee jobs and people cranking whatever out that they want to have said about their team. They'd have fired me 3-4 years ago. Okay? Jesus criminy. How you doing? Oh, my God. Woo, baby. Man. Here's Senorita, I'm sure with a very strong take. Sills keeps picking JAKIB. Allen's the best player in the game at his position. Best player in the game. Don't even need to read the rest of that bullshit. Josh Allen has nobody on his football team. Like I said, I told you, I could take Kansas City starting offense and the Bills starting offense, and the only person that would be replaced would be the quarterback in Philly. He'd be the only guy replaced. Mahomes and Allen would replace him. As a woman, you all listen to my takes. It's real. Kimberly, I like your takes. You are definitely a great sports talk person. You see, I don't look at her as a viewer or a listener. I look at her as someone that I would enjoy talking to. I enjoy talking sports with my wife. My wife is a savant in sports. I mean, she's spectacular. I mean, honestly, especially when it comes to talking about talent. Loves Jalen Hurts, by the way, and also loves Saquon, loves Barkley. But my wife loves a running game. She loves a running game. She's not really big on the passing game, guys. She loves running attacks. Okay? Big Sills, just being real. Don't agree all the time, but that's what makes it fun. Fly, Eagles, fly. Absolutely, David, and I love that take from you. And that's exactly where I'm at, too. Okay? Ethan, the problem isn't the lack of ass kissing, but bring some authentic self to your opinions. Okay? Starting over here, let me do that for him because he obviously is brand new. You're starting a guy who's never had any downs whatsoever as a starter at corner, and you thought that Keely Ringo was going to do it. I said never happened, and he couldn't even beat Isaiah Rodgers out. There's context. You got rid of the the third best corner on your team and Isaiah Rodgers. Boom. Here, let me go over another one. Then you're talking about Sidney Brown, who's a horrible tackler. Has been in and out of the lineup because he can't stay healthy, and Makuba got hurt in helmets and shorts, and you really don't have any depth at that position. Okay, now let's go to the edge. You're counting on a guy who had really a pretty good 9 games, outstanding, and Jalix Hunt, who got some really good reps and looked pretty decent, but we'll find out if that guy can play edges at the edge for 17 games. There's your context. And Tyler Steen couldn't beat Becton out. Now you're talking to me about some dude named Brett Tooth. I don't know. Those are your guards, Brett Tooth and Tyler Steen. Last year, Landon Dickerson and Mekhi Becton. I don't know. Sounds like context to me, jackass. Anything else? And you had the 30th ranked passing offense in pro football. And you're struggling in camp. Any more context you need? There's authentic self-takes. What's the guy's name? Seriously, Brett Tooth? Johnny Tooth? Who's the guy that's going to be playing for Landon week 1 against the Cowboys? Tell me who. What's the guy's name? Bubba Booey? What's the guy's name that's going to be playing left guard? Q last year played nickel cornerback all preseason to start the outside in Green Bay. Maybe Coop will do the same thing. I ask, and I keep asking the question, when somebody in the media, when are they going to ask, why can't Cooper get out there and play corner? Okay, why can't they? Chris Jones. Brett Mantooth. There you go. So Brett Mantooth is playing left guard? Is that his name? Shit. Brett Mantooth and Tyler Steen. Okay. Hey, that sounds like an upgrade. Let me ask you this. Let's do this for a second. Okay, see this here? You're right. Let's stop with the nonsense. Keely Ringo's an upgrade over Slay? Sidney Brown's an upgrade over CJ? Jalix Hunt's an upgrade over Josh Sweat? Tyler Steen's upgrade over Mekhi Becton? Brett Mantooth an upgrade over Landon Dickerson? Where are we going here? You're right. Lamar, stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Sidney Brown is aggressive. Coaches need to calm him down. Dude, they need to teach him how to tackle. And the one thing you don't do in training camp is tackle. So get this. Everything he needs to work on is getting dudes on the ground they don't do, right? Is that correct? Okay. Yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. Okay? Oh, of course. This guy sounds like your normal guy that watches CNN. Make sure you get this guy a buzzer because I can't take what he's saying because I can't take the fucking truth. Andreas, I know, son. Don't worry about it, kid. We might not be the show for you, son. One of those ass-kissing shows that, what is that thing? The Philly sport thing and the 97.5 Easy Music or Easy Jazz. That's what I'm going to start calling a fanatic. Easy Jazz. By the way, you see they sold their radio stations. Beasley sold their Fort Myers and their Southern Florida market. Do you understand? That's where Beasley was founded, in Naples. They sold all their home stations. Easy, slow jazz. Sounds like Howie making the same business decisions he made in 23. No way. No. Can't be. Can't be. So wait a minute here. This is a really perplexing column from the flagship station of WIP. I guarantee you Bob Lang has called on this to his boy here. It was not a bounce back day for Hurts and the offense, likely hoped for, overcoming a turnover-filled first day versus the Browns. What? Holy shit. I mean, I can't believe what I'm reading here. Actual truth, justice, and the Big Sills way? This ain't even me talking. Hurts and the offense didn't have a passing touchdown in the 5 11-on-11 sessions. It's set up for the offense, too. 11-on-11 is set up for the offense to succeed and the defense to fail. The majority of those snaps were from the 25-yard line and in. He had 2 chances at touchdowns, but overthrew Devontae twice. If there was a positive, it was Hurts didn't put the ball in harm's way. Get this. You want to hear something that's even more pathetic in how they covered this? Let me show you this one here. Get this. Isn't this a quarterback's number one priority and responsibility? If there was a positive, it was that Hurts didn't put the ball in harm's way and didn't turn the ball over like he did in day one. Congratulations for doing your job. Okay. Right. In Hurts' defense, he didn't have his pack team with him, and that's why he sucked. I added that. In Hurts' defense, the first team offense didn't have AJ, Saquon, Lane, and Landon. That it's an obvious factor. Of course, really? Okay. Hey, but don't ever say that about another quarterback. Like when Goff lost his players up in Detroit, he sucks, or this guy sucks, or that guy sucks. But when Hurts sucks and loses his guys, hey, in defense of Jalen, all you lollipop suckers, it's wonderful to watch you guys kiss up to a guy who has a loaded team. And when that loaded team's not there and he sucks, you can't tell you, hey, play better, kid. Just curious, are they game planning and shitting these practices or just running plays no matter what Cleveland comes out in? Good question. Good question. I think it's a little of both. I think they'll game plan a little tiny bit of Cleveland's defense, but I think most of the time they're just trying to run plays. From what I understand, too, Kevin Patullo and Kevin Stefanski worked on some things that they wanted to see because, get this, one of the things, and let me write this down about Vic and what makes Vic so difficult compared to Jim Schwartz. There was a comment that was made yesterday that I want to hit on. JAKIB Sports has no filter. They tell the truth, love the content. David, it's been a story of my career. I've never had a filter. Never had a filter. Let's watch this. The resident Bob Lang of JAKIB Sports. It's M. Lang. Sills, Kyler, and Pump under the impression the first team is out there. Hey, get this. You're right. If Hurts don't have the best players out there, you're under the impression Hurts is good. Champs 2026. Then we could do this again for a third straight year. Yeah, that's right, Damon. Sure. Okay. Whoa, man. Too much fun. Sills, if they move Coop to CB2, he outplays the 7 guys auditioning there. It would be difficult to justify moving him back. Coop roams in the middle of the field and in the slot for Vic. Okay? Get this, though. You think Matthew Stafford's not going to find a weak-ass Keely Ringo on the corner there with Devontae Adams or with Puka Nacua? You don't think they're going to find him out there and find that weak-ass safety you got playing named Sidney Brown? You don't think they're going to find those guys? I do. You better have a hell of a pass rush. You better have a pass rush like you did in 22. Woo, man. I hurt my shoulder there a little bit. Oh, wait, that's Sidney Brown. Hey, I just hurt my shoulder grabbing my pen like Sidney Brown. I hurt my shoulder. I'm going to get out there. Okay? Come on there, Pump. How you doing? Hey, I could see if you said Pat Mahomes, but Stafford hasn't even been practicing. You really think a quarterback that's played in this league for 16 years needs practice? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Right. I'm sure, like, playing against Keely Ringo will make Matthew Stafford better. Right. So my issue is with CB2 is we made a move for Bennett, but he's the same player as Bingo. Same issues in coverage. So let me ask you something, Andres. You really think Howie Roseman's going to make another trade this offseason for another corner? Jesus criminy, that's admitting the mistake on Slay and admitting the trade that you guys said that he initiated for Jack Rabbit Bennett. I mean, another corner? Come on, Howie. I mean, you're admitting to your failures. Jack Rabbit Bennett don't look like the guy either. Come on, Jack Rabbit. Jack Rabbit Bennett. Sills, yes, great quarterback will find a weak spot, which is why I've been lobbying for an edge. Now, I get where you're going with there because you want to increase the pass rush. Jack Rabbit Bennett. Oh, my God. Hey, I see the luxury of why Trump nicknames people. You know, I've always nicknamed people. No wonder people make that comparison a little bit. I've always nicknamed guys. So, yeah, Jack Rabbit Bennett. Woo, not another corner. Really? Holy shit. How he got right in 20 years on two corners, Q and Cooper, and he has bit the bit every other time at cornerback, every time he's tried to go get a corner. Do you realize that, right? He's bit the bit. And he did it again with Jack Rabbit Bennett. Holy shit. We're going to do it again? Jack Rabbit Bennett. Let's see. Sills, you're the GM of the Eagles. What's one move you make right now? Here's the one move I make right now that I'll tell you that for me, my friends, I'm not moving Tyler Steen from right guard to left guard. No way. This dude's practicing the entire offseason. He's practicing OTAs and minicamp. He's been practicing in the fall camp here in training camp next to Landon and next to Cam. Bro, that guy, I'm not moving that guy around. I'm keeping that guy stationary where he is, where he's playing well, and he's starting to get a good feel, showing up to practice, knowing where he's going to play. I'm not moving that guy to left guard. For what? Whole different technique, left foot, right foot, left hand, left, right hand, different placement. Why would you do that to him? I guarantee you Tyler Steen will not be playing left guard. He may get some reps because you may not believe in the guy, what's his name, Brett Mantooth, but let me tell you, they're not moving him over there. This guy's become more adept to playing next to Landon, and he's getting better. Why would you mess around with that? I'm not messing around with that guy. Tyler Steen is getting better. So you're going to move him? Why? To learn a whole new technique? You understand when you're the right guard, you punch with one hand. The other way, you go the other way. Your different steps, shallower steps, deeper steps, getting up on scoop and slip. Why would I do that to him? Okay? The guy's playing good there. It looks like there's two positions. It looks like the Eagles right now, the two positions that I feel comfortable saying that the Eagles have covered with all your losses is Milton with Morrow and Steen with Becton. Now, I don't know how good Steen's going to be. Is he going to be Becton? Becton had a special year last year. But then again, that's the best year Becton's ever had. I've never seen Mekhi Becton play like that. So I don't know. But he looks better now. I think, again, don't move him. So you got right guard. You probably could get away with it with Malata and Cam and having another guy in there because the Cowboys don't really have a defensive tackle that's going to threaten you in that September 4th game. They have one. Let me say this to you. If you don't get Landon back by week 2, which I think that's what they're going to do, they're going to hold him out because the Cowboys don't have an interior tackle that frightens anybody. But the Kansas City Chiefs do. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to move Chris Jones to the weaker guard. And he's going to kill Brett Mantooth. And Tyler Steen is going to have his hands full. I mean, Chris Jones is a great football player. The guy's a Hall of Fame player. Okay? So moving him around, no thank you. That's not happening. Brett Mantooth playing left guard. Okay. Hey, thank God Aaron Donald doesn't play for the Rams. He might want to come out of retirement for that game because of Brett Mantooth and Tyler Steen. Okay. All right. I mean, don't move him. Now, exterior-wise, what move would I make? I don't mind the idea what Bob's saying. But, dude, on August 14th, 15th, who do you think's going to – so what are you saying? Trey Hendrickson? You're going to go get Trey? Is that what you're talking? Howie Roseman's not making A moves. Howie Roseman's making B- and C moves. B- tops. He's shown you he's made C+ to B- moves. Okay? The entire offseason. I understand this. My wife says the same thing. I'm bad for her blood pressure too. You keep talking about the Rams. You keep hoping. Keep hoping. Stafford doesn't need practice. That's a huge problem. So Matthew Stafford, who in the last 5 years with the Rams has won a Super Bowl and has been a really great quarterback in the NFL the last 5 years with Sean McVay. And he's played 15+ years in the league. Okay. No, you're right. He probably needs the same reps as Cam Ward. I hope that, yeah, you're what? What can you fire back at? Keely's playing well? The passing game's not struggling? You know the easiest thing to say is, don't worry about it. We'll be all right. Sure. No problem. And by the way, Xander's the only dude I've ever let on my program. That's a fact. I'm still sold on the Cowboys went through a rebuild and restructuring. Management wasn't planning for 25. They were planning for 26. Shit, I bring that up. I get laughed at in Philly. Well, we'll find out real soon. We got 21 days from tonight. We're going to figure it out. We're going to tee it up and play 60. And we'll find out. So far, everything I've said in the offseason, it looks the same thing as I said. You're not replacing Slay. You're not replacing Gardner Johnson. We'll see if you replace Josh. Now, I will say this. Morrow has had a really good camp. He has had a really good camp. My question with him will be, will he be able to play the amount of snaps that Milton played and play in all those fronts that he played in a year ago? I don't think he has the experience that Milton has, but we'll see. More optimistic on that. Your backup, get this. Here's another one here. You guys are telling me that Trotter's really good. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Trotter's not better than Dean. That's a downgrade. Every single guy that's starting right now is a downgrade. Maybe a Jomo's not. Steen's a downgrade. Brett Mantooth's a downgrade. Keely's a downgrade. Sydney's a downgrade. All that stuff you guys back, 3-4 months ago were debating me on? That's not how that's looking in practice. That's not what the coaches are saying. Okay, get this. Really? Then why didn't he play last year? 2 other rookies played and got a bunch of time. Why didn't Trotter? Can you tell me? Why didn't Trotter get playing time last year? Isa Ajusa, a dreamer, a god. Why didn't Trotter play last year then? Vic didn't have a problem playing rookies. Vic? Well, wait a minute. Vic played Q and Cooper right out of the gate. Isa Azusa Ao. All rookies are not the same. You know that Coop and Q were. Oh, okay. So an unknown dude is starting, but you think that's a push with a guy who had 130 tackles a year ago, and Oren Burks, who just signed for $8 million. Why couldn't he beat Oren Burks out? You mean to tell me he couldn't beat Oren Burks out? Let's see another lie. Sills used to say Vic couldn't play rookies, and Vic changed his perspective. He did. He did change it. He never played rookies anywhere else. I don't ever remember him in any stop, unless it was a Fred Warner guy, ever playing rookies. You bet, dude. Change his perspective. Next. It was his rookie year. Well, you had 2 other rookies. And by the way, Jalen Hunt got playing time. How come Trotter did it? Sills, help me understand our big master plan was to take 3 guys who couldn't start to begin with and let them play and expect them to be as good. That's exactly what my point was the entire offseason. Every one of you were glazing those guys because you know what you did? And to a point, rightfully so. You guys do get the benefit because of the ring that he's going to do. And again, these guys never started. And it's it's not that you have 1 guy. It's you have 6 guys. Actually, let me do that again. I want to double check. So if you're going into week 1 and Landon's not playing, left guard, right guard, edge, D-end, LB, cornerback, safety. I missed one? That's 7 starters that have never started. 7 starters out of 22. And 3 important backups. Fred Taylor, Oren Burks, and Isaiah Rodgers. Who are those guys? Okay. Edge and defensive end. Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, if you're keeping score, son. Okay. Now, I'd say this to you. One more question. Why aren't you putting Fred Johnson? Why aren't you putting Cooper DeJean out of corner? How come? Vic said the roster was going to dictate where he plays. Okay, where? I think that needs more corner, not safety. Former Cleveland Brown, and I believe, Jeff, he's in Detroit. Okay, I do. I believe he's in Detroit. He's a good football player. Vic cares about stopping the middle of the field as the outer bounds. He didn't have to worry about the outer bounds because he had Q and Slay. Seals, you see Lanny cracking? I thought that was absolutely awesome. And he brought beers for the Browns guys, too. It was totally cool. Him being out there drinking Miller Lite. I get it. But there they were in the middle of the practice field drinking Miller Lite. Landon Dickerson bringing 2 green coolers out there, and they got Miller Lights for the guys that were playing on Cleveland and the guys that were there with the Eagles. I thought that was cool as shit. What a good teammate. I thought that was really great. You know, you guys are practicing hard. You're kind of chirping at one another. I thought that was really dope. Landon Dickerson, in my opinion, man, that dude, if that guy's not wearing a C, there's something wrong with it. He is a total leader. I like it, man. Okay? Right. Yeah, right? And you know what you do, bro? You drink white wine spritzers with your finger up in an umbrella. Hi. This guy's a white wine spritzer drinker. His pinky up. And he wears a pinky ring. You know them tools. Because we have high character guys in our building. I don't know why I do that every time I do that with you, Lamar. I shake my shoulders. I don't know. It's really weird. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't know. You bring like, you know, you make me feel feminine or something. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Here's a guy here that drinks Miller Lite or Bud Light in a thong. He's going to need a beer when his meniscus explodes again. That's very uncool. Okay? That is very uncool. I'm not going there with that one. No way. That's not cool. Can't have that. Hit the like button, guys. Oh, my God. Sills gives me White Claw vibes. Oh, my God. How you doing? What is that? Please tell me that's a beer and not your condition with your gonads. Tell me, what is Young Lingling? If I can't say the beer, I'm not drinking it. What's a Young Lingling? What in the world is a Young Lingling? It's a beer. It's a PA beer. Well, I'm a Rolling Rock guy. If I'm a PA beer, I'm going to drink a Rolling Rock guy. I'm a Rolling Rock dude. I like Rolling Rock, actually. So is you still high on your boy Caleb Williams? High on my boy Caleb Williams. I didn't know about him. I don't know, man. I think Ben Johnson's going to do a great job with him. Okay, it's a PA beer? Sure. If I can't say it, I ain't drinking it. Is it easy to resign Cooper and Q as 2 cornerbacks or as a safety cornerback? Well, if I'm Cooper DeJean, okay, if I'm Cooper DeJean, I want to be designated as a corner because I'm going to get paid more. All right? So, yeah. Let me tell you the one thing I heard. Well, who said it? Landon Dickerson. No. Who said it? Lane Johnson said it. Wait. Let me go back with one question here on you. With the 7 players that will be new on opening day, where's the upgrade? Where did Howie upgrade? Left guard, right guard, edge, defensive end, linebacker, corner, safety. Where in this offseason did he upgrade? Where did he upgrade? Because it's a harder position to play. Trotter's an upgrade from Nakobe. This guy says Trotter's an upgrade. He says Trotter's an upgrade. RC3 says Trotter's an upgrade from Dean. John Campbell's not starting. Campbell's not starting. He's not starting. Where'd they upgrade? And by the way, how can you say Campbell's an upgrade when you've never seen him play an NFL down? How can you say that? How did you upgrade? So you're saying that a guy who couldn't beat out Oren Burks is an upgrade to Nakobe Dean? I bet you he is. Okay, kid. I think how he feels the front and edges are wash. How in the world do you think that? That the two defensive ends, like you think that that Jalix Hunt is an upgrade over Josh Sweat when the guy's never started a down in his life and is going to have to play over 1,100 snaps. Dude, what are you talking about? I don't see 1,100 snaps out of that guy. No way. Trotter's not starting? Yes, he is. Okay, so then if Trotter doesn't start, you're starting a guy who's never played. Okay, that's not an upgrade. Not until you see him play. You know what? How many people do believe that Campbell's an upgrade at linebacker on August 14th? Let me hear you. And let me hear you. Do you think that JAKIB Campbell's an upgrade at linebacker? Do you? By the way, that's the only position out of the 7 that you now are coming to grips. You haven't upgraded. From Trotter, yes. On paper, no. Since you know he's an upgrade, stop being a dick. Hang on here. That's like saying on Monday you had a great draft. Off the draft weekend. It's a fucking preposterous comment. I've never said either way, good or bad. I said it looks it. You don't know how good a player is until 3 years out. How do you know RC3 he doesn't have a slow putt like Nolan Smith did? How do you know that? Nolan Smith got better in year 3, not year 1. How do you know he's not that guy? That's why you got to hold your putt and wait until you see the line and wait until you see how he plays. You can't come out on August 14th and tell me that fucking JAKIB Campbell is an upgrade when you've never seen him play. You've never seen that guy play. Nobody's what? Get this. This is what this guy's saying. I'm ripping him. I said, it looks good. We'll see how he plays. And he calls that a rip. I call you soft, dude. You can't tell if anyone is an upgrade on August 14th. Well, I can when you've got 7 guys competing at corner now and watching the way Brown has played and camping in the games. I think you can. Dude, you made a trade for a corner, and you were hell-bent that Keeley was the guy. Now, the guy, Bennett is sucking, and Keeley looks terrible. And you got a plethora of guys battling for the job. So don't say Campbell has more potential than Trotter or Dean, but I got to see him get some reps. Right. I got that. There's no rip in that. There's absolutely no rip. Again, do I think he looks the role? I'll tell you what, I watched him in a football game. There was a lot of not very good plays. There was a lot of things that showed me he had a lot of skill. But to sit there and say that he's ready to start against the Cowboys is a fucking joke. Get this. See this here? Shows he was the best linebacker in the Southeastern Conference. So was Michael Sams. He won the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. You want to hear something, folks? Remember that guy, Michael Sams? that played at Missouri, he beat Jadeveon Clowney out for the SEC Player of the Year, and he never played it down in the NFL. So, Michael Sam was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and the guy never played it down in the NFL. Nice job, kid. Gotta come, and next time you come here, come a little stronger than that. Michael Sam acted like the first gay man ever and couldn't handle the pressure. I don't give a shit if you're gay or not gay, guy. Can you play? Stop being stupid. Gay guy, who cares? I don't care what your sexuality or your religion is. Just go play, man. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what it is. Can you play ball? Jesus, criminy. Of course, you go to low-hanging fruit shit. I'm looking for football players. I'm not looking for an activist team. I want to play some football, dude. And I don't give a shit what that looks like. You're the ones that label people. I'm trying to look for football players. Dan, did you see Landon at practice, walking with no brace, passing out beers? Supposedly he had the surgery yesterday, too. So that's good. Okay? You're just stacking up the crow. Yeah, okay. Get another corner, kid. Go find another corner. Don't worry. He'll be available in about 2 weeks when they cut somebody. Serious questions. How would Michael Sams do in the Miami locker room? That's a stupid question. I'm not answering that. You know what? We would embrace him. If he was a good football player, we would embrace him. Miami was a place where everyone had their own issues. We would embrace him. Because we didn't care about that shit. Okay? We would embrace him. I know we would. Because we embraced all kinds of shit in our locker room. You're the ones that can't embrace people, not me. Get this. You brought it up. I didn't bring anything up except, Brian, you're a fucking liar. I brought up the fact that Michael Sam was the Defensive Player of the Year in the SEC because somebody brought up that Jahad Campbell was the best linebacker in the SEC. And I said he didn't play. You're the ones that brought up all the gay shit. I never brought any of that up. Lying about what? You're the ones that brought that shit up. Get this. Sam wasn't good. He was just the SEC player. The point was, he was the best linebacker in the SEC. Try staying on point. Good laughs today. Thank you. Needed it. Catch me a grouper. I need a fucking grouper, man. Okay? I need a grouper. Hey, so let me get back to what Landon said. What do you think makes Vic Fangio's defense? What do you think makes Vic Fangio's defense so complex and so difficult to scheme against? Landon said it yesterday. Okay? I mean, you tell me, what makes it? Hey, Brian. All good. Me too, bro. It's all good. Versatility. Look at this guy. Only took him an hour and 11 minutes to have a good take. Good job, Lamar. I knew you had it in you, kid. I knew you had it in there. What was his take? I'd like to hear it. His take on, you're getting there, Big Easy. What was Stephen A. Smith's take? How you doing, bro? It's all good. Probably the versatility and the communication. Okay? Good, guys. Appreciate you guys all coming aboard here. Love it. All right. I'd like to know what Stephen A's take was on Jalen Hurts, who's struggling in camp. Here's what Landon said. When you go against Jim Schwartz defense, you pretty much know a forefront's going to be in front of you, and you kind of know you can have your aiming points, and you kind of know where the guys are going to be in front of you. When you play Vic in that 5 front, and you got multiple guys, it makes it difficult for you guys to be able, and for us to be able to get landing points, for us to be able to get, whether we have to reach, scoop, or slip, it's more difficult. Vic's fronts make it so that it's impossible to really get a good angle block on his guys. I thought that was one of the most intriguing, insightful things. When I went back and listened to that, no wonder they had a tough time blocking the Eagles' front 7 last year. Vic has so many multiple fronts and so many multiple shades. And I heard something today that was said that we'll get into some of the players that were talking, that Landon said it's impossible. It was good to see people where we knew where they were going to be. Okay? Stephen A. Smith says Jalen Hurts is being penalized for having a great roster. Oh, yeah, by some of you guys out there. I have never penalized the guy for that. Congratulations. He had a great roster at Alabama. And you know what the difference is at Alabama? They didn't need him because they had another player behind him. You think Alabama needed Jalen Hurts? They didn't win a national title with him. They upgraded to what fit that system, which was Tagovailoa. And they went on and won. You know, Jalen won the SEC. I got it. I know somebody said he's a bad player. Former SEC player of the year, absolutely a good player. But the coach didn't think he was good enough to win a national title. That's why he benched him. He wasn't hurt. They benched him for performance. You know, certain players at that time in their careers may not be ready. He may not have been ready. He was benched, not because he was injured. He was benched over performance. That's plain and simple. And get this, Alabama got better without him in there, not worse. When they had a passing game and they were to get the ball to the receivers on the perimeter, because Tagovailoa is a better passer than Hurts, they were able to get the offense going where they wanted to go. Now, Jalen probably wasn't ready yet. He hadn't developed into a really good, he still has it, but he's getting way better than he was. And he's continuing to get better, but Alabama put a better player in. Case in point, they won a national title. Now, again, he wasn't as developed at that time at the quarterback position. I mean, get this. Everything I'm saying is true. The action, history tells you. Was he bad? No. Was Tua better at that time for that team? Absolutely. That's not my take. That's Nick Saban's take. I mean, you may not like what I'm saying to you, but history will tell you that's what Saban said. Saban by his actions. So he had a great team at Alabama. Get this. What's the lie? Saban didn't bench him? That's a lie? Dude, you might not know the truth. He was fucking benched. And they got better. And they won the national title. Hurts is a good player there. Former SEC player of the year. You don't like to hear it. That ain't no lie. That's exactly what happened. I mean, true. Tua's a heck of a player. He just can't keep his skittles straight. Leaving out details. What's the detail, dude? That he came in the SEC title game and played well, and then they benched him again. They could have won the championship. Without him, Tua got hurt. Bring context. So wait a minute. Dude, I'm not going to debate this. I cover college football and vote on the top 25 every week. I fucking know what goes on. I've interviewed Nick on this topic. Aikman had a great roster. What's your point? Nothing. Troy Aikman had a great roster, won 3 Super Bowls, and did everything they asked him to do. My point? Nothing. What's Tua doing now? Making more than Hurts. Saban stinks, and what? His 7 national titles? Probably so. Tua's not a bust. Tua's unfortunate. Here. That's right. No point. That's not what we're talking about. Tagovailoa will always be a better passer than Jalen Hurts. End of story. History tells me we drafted the better player. Proof. Hurts Super Bowl win, Tua absolutely nothing. How you doing? Once again, you're right. Dolphins suck. I wish we could merge Hurts and Manning into one player. I think Peyton Manning underachieved in Indianapolis. You win 1 Super Bowl? Personally, I think he underachieved. Eli Manning did more in the postseason with his one team, the New York Giants, than Peyton did in the postseason versus Tom Brady, and he had more weapons. Peyton Manning had a loaded team. Brady never had a loaded team. And Brady beat the doorknobs off him. Beat the doorknobs off him. Stop crying, dude. Take the day off, son. You might want to go into a corner and cry a little bit about your boy. Aikman had a great O-line until we crushed him. Ask Buddy Ryan, 7.5 sacks. Yeah, okay. Troy Aikman's got 3 Super Bowls, dude. And a Hall of Fame gold jacket. Okay? GQ, ask anybody. That's history. Remember when people compared Manning to Brady? Yeah, they did it until the very end of Brady's career. As long as we can rush the passer, F the good cornerback too. Yeah, you proved that in 22. Yes. Brian, hey, get this. What people like to do is change history or kind of rewrite it. You know what I'm saying? Seals, this season, I better see us dominate time of possession to keep it out of our defense's hands. At least early. Run the football, right? Right? Yes. Absolutely not overrated. As a matter of fact, he's underrated. How can a second-round guy going to 2 Super Bowls be overrated? That's not in my conversation. That overrated Hurts? Are you crazy? That is never something that will ever be uttered out of my mouth, being overrated. And he's barely overhyped. Dak's overhyped. Hurts is an underachiever Wait, he's an overachiever. Excuse me. He's one of the biggest overachievers in the last 25 years. I mean, a second-round pick, guy benched in college, had a transfer because they didn't want him. You know, it's funny. Some of these guys in here will try to tell you, well, put some context on it. Okay, here's the context. They made him leave Alabama with eligibility left, and he went to OU. There's the context. He was never going to start ever again at Alabama. And he knew that. It's okay. Like Brady said, everything that made him in his journey what he is now because of that journey. Remember, he left. He had to. He was never going to start again. Purdy is one of the most underrated players in NFL history, especially in the last 25 years. Like I said, and I did it yesterday, you can't name me a seventh-round quarterback that has ever led a team to a Super Bowl in the last 25 years that was drafted in the seventh round. It's not. He's the only one. He is the only one ever to do that. And you didn't have to give up a first round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round, and a sixth rounder to get that quarterback in your room. The only thing that saved John Lynch's job after that Trey Lance disaster is because Purdy covered it. Purdy covered those first-round picks. Xander had a great take on that. 49ers are feeling a little bit of the ramifications off those 30 first-round moves and all those 3 first-round losses, and you're seeing them spread out throughout the entire roster. They had to get rid of Hufanga. Okay, they had to get rid of a defensive tackle in the middle. That kid Armstead was a good football player. They should never have gotten rid of him. Did Purdy? He elevated his team to a Super Bowl and to an NFC championship. And by the way, he started lesser years than what Jalen has. I think he's done a really great job. Thrown for over $4,000, put his team in a Super Bowl, 7th-round pick. I don't know how you don't look at that as one of the best picks in the last 25 years, especially at the most coveted position in the NFL, quarterback. I'll tell you this. Who's a better player, Dak or him? I don't know. At least he got to a Super Bowl. Who's a better player, Purdy or Trey Lance or Trevor Lawrence? I'll take Purdy over him. It's stupid. Even Dak has overachieved. Now, I agree when the payroll comes in at 60, that stuff kind of goes away. After the 60, after the 45 or whatever it was, went away. Okay? Once again, douchebag, I said drafted in the last 25 years. Case Keenum was a UDFA. Holy shit. See here. Well, Millard is a fantastic pick, but the quarterback position will always outweigh that. How he may have screwed it up with the Rager pick, but he made up for it with the Hurts pick. I think he made up for it with not only the Hurts pick, but the A.J. Brown trade. Okay? I mean, he made up with the A.J. Brown trade. I'm trying to figure out, have you ever seen a player get, the only other guy I can remember? You guys tell me this. The only other guy that I remember that was at one place that got traded to another place and turned out to be a Hall of Fame type player. Am I right when I say Brett Favre? When Favre was in Atlanta and they didn't think shit of him there in Atlanta, what they had, like Chris Chandler or something? They had like Chris Chandler there, right? And right, man, Randy Moss was great from the very beginning. Oh, you're talking about the Raider thing when he went to New England And after he got traded from Minnesota to the Raiders, and then he got traded from the Raiders to New England, probably so, Moss. T.O. was always great. T.O. was always great. Marshall Faulk, that's a good one too. Goes from the Colts to the Rams, and the greatest show on turf went through him. And the Colts ended up getting Edgerrin James. Okay? Here, get this. Kyler Murray, 36-45. Jacoby Brissett. The Cardinals. The Bidwell Cardinals. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Chris Hinton-Sills traded right after he landed. Hinton was a great player, played in 8 Pro Bowls, 9 Pro Bowls. All pro at all 5 positions. Was a Pro Bowler his rookie year. He just gets caught up because he was in the Elway trade. We had him on the program. Cliff Kingsbury didn't win with Kyler in Arizona. I know. Because the Cardinals are known for being a great organization. Green Bay traded a first pick for Favre. Was it? Favre was a second rounder. I believe that Favre was a second round pick. I don't remember. Was it a first rounder? I thought it was maybe a contingent first round pick. Sills, are checkdowns a bad thing? Absolutely not. I think they're the most important weapon that a quarterback can have. It shows you that he's a smart player. Think about it, Martin. You know what a checkdown means to me? The quarterback doesn't want to throw the ball in harm's way and turn the football over. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to learn how to be able to play another series of plays. And like you said, you want to keep the game close? Don't force footballs in there. Brady played his entire career that way. Mahomes plays a lot like that. A bad thing because they're having Hurts doing that a lot in these practices. I think that is fabulous. I think that is making, and maybe potentially, let me say this to you. If Jalen Hurts develops a check down game, do you understand the reason why I say he'll never throw for $4,000? Is because he doesn't have a screen game or a check down game. And he doesn't throw across the middle of the field. He limits, well, maybe they limit him in how he can spread the ball around. He can't spread the ball around because there's no check down game. There's no throwing across the middle, and there's no screen game. Brady threw for all those yards, and so did Breeze throw for all those yards. Why? You had Alvin Kamara, and you had Michael Thomas. And what else did you have? You had Jimmy Graham. I mean, those guys had a massive short yardage passing game. Now, here's one thing that Jalen doesn't have to do compared to those other guys. Many times Brady didn't have a superstar running game. So he created a running game with the intermediate passing. You know, those 5-yard slants, boom, 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 boom. Or a check down pass where he'd get a screen going in the run game. And he had very athletic wide offensive guards and tackles getting out in the perimeter and blocking. That's why that short yardage game for Brady was so huge. Because many times they didn't really have big-time running backs. Who'd they have back there? Sonny Michel. Who'd they have back there? Danny Woodhead. Corey Dillon early. Lamar Smith they had. They didn't really have boring football. Yes. By the way, I thought the Eagles played boring football last year. But boring football wins. Okay? Kevin Falk was good. LeGarrette Blount was short yardage. James White was okay. These are all good players, not exceptional. Blount was an exceptional short yardage guy. Only time he really sucked when he was in Pittsburgh. I thought he was great when he was with the Bucs. He came up with the Bucs, and the Patriots actually turned him into a short yardage guy. This kid out of Minnesota was a first rounder, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever. I think first or second rounder. There was another kid that played with him at the University of Minnesota too. He was okay. These guys are okay. You know, they weren't great. Shame what happened to him. Went to a Pro Bowl and blew his knee out in the sand and was never the same. Blunt was exceptional in Philly. He really was in the short yardage. Okay? I think it's essential. You got to start putting good players around him. I think he's getting better. I do. I think he's getting better and better. Eric Dickerson played in New England. When was that? I do. I think he's getting better, Cook. I do. Okay? I love the kid A.J. Dillon. So you think if A.J. Dillon pans out, he's our Blunt. Whew. If A.J. Dillon pans out, there's where you're going to get 600 yards rushing. And you're going to take probably 150 carries, maybe 120 carries off the plate of Saquon Barkley. He's a good football player, man. He is. Let me say this one more time to you. That guy is in Philly, not because he stunk. He's in Philly because of injuries. And if he can play 17, 18 games and give you what you need, that guy's very capable of giving you 600 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns. He's good, and he can catch the ball. That, you know, this is going to sound crazy. That A.J. Dillon could be a find for this past offseason here for Howie. If that guy plays in those pinched nerves, okay, and those pinched nerves, they can hold it down. That could be a fantastic move when it comes to A.J. Dillon. I don't think he played a year ago. Okay? I don't think he played. But that guy he's a good player. Okay? He is a really good football player, A.J. Dillon. I agree. How many touches? Jeff, if they get that guy 100 touches and they're able to take 120 off his plate, and Barkley still gets you 1,500 yards, 1,600 yards, and still clipping away at 6'4", bro, you're talking about a guy that how about this? A.J. Dillon could potentially lengthen Saquon Barkley's career. Does that make sense, guys? They can clearly extend Saquon Barkley's career if he's able to get 125 carries out of him. Also, Sills, can the versatility of defense somewhat hide the flaws on the safety? Yeah, I'll tell you, like Landon said this. I thought this was the craziest thing. And when he said it, he said, you know, the Cleveland Browns, we know where they're going to line up. We know where they're lining up, right? But with Vic's 5-front, and Vic plays a lot of 5-front, I'm like, wow, okay. So he's more of a 52 guy in some aspects. Interesting. He goes, it makes it almost impossible because those guys get on points. Those guys get on shades. So, right? Run Dillon and Barkley the way you run Gibbs and Montgomery in Detroit. Yeah, well, one thing here, I still want Saquon to get over 300 carries this year. I do. Saquon had 1,300 yards or something like that before contact. AJ could definitely help lengthen his career. Yeah, because if that guy's able to give you 120 carries, that guy's capable of 600 yards rushing, dude. Yeah, he was a first rounder, if I'm not mistaken, out of the University of Minnesota. He's a pretty good ball player. I don't think he was exceptional, but he was good for the Patriots early on in the first couple Super Bowls. They had another guy in there by the name of Lamar Smith, the Patriots, but they never really had a big-time running back in the day. And Brady had the intermediate passing game. All right. Hey, by the way, right after the program, we are going to have, programming note. The reason we don't have Battle Royale today is because Philly 500 is a little under the weather. So we're going to try to do that tomorrow with Mark Holmes. We've had a great week. You guys have been sensational. Please hit the like button. Hey, by the way, likes are down a little. Please get them, hit them, and we appreciate you guys very much. Right after the program, we are going to have Birds 365, and we'll get John's take on what was seen out there. But again, out of the gate here, man, just by reading some of the things and listening to some of the people, the offense struggled again today. And more so than anything, it's the passing game that struggled. And you just listen to anybody that was out there. Now, with all that being said, hit that like button. Hardest working dude here, and believe me, this man here is personally responsible for making 97.5 smooth jazz. He is my friend, Big Z. Xander Krause joins us now. We appreciate him. Wearing the Tiger Wood red cap, and we're ready to rock because it's football this weekend. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother? It's a good day, and apparently it wasn't a good day for the Eagles at practice today.
Hey, let me start there with this. Do you think it's a thing out there in this passing game that they haven't had AJ and Devontae really in a lot of these practices together? And that's kind of it here, where they haven't practiced a lot together. I heard there's only been like 3 practices where they've been on the field together in this whole 2 weeks that they've been out there. I mean,
yeah, you know what it seems, though? It seems like one guy misses on the offense and the whole offense falls apart. I mean, A.J. Brown's not out there. They can't even complete a pass versus the Browns in practice. Now, there was no A.J. today, no Lane. Who else missed today?
No Devontae.
No, Devontae was out there today. No Dickerson. Okay. No Dickerson. Myles Garrett apparently just was destroying Mailata today.
That's not a shocker.
No, it's not a shocker at all. It's Myles Garrett. But I mean, Jordan Mailata, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think there are some people would think, hey, Mailata can hold him up better. That guy's too good, man. That guy's too good. Myles Garrett is not blockable by any human, I don't think.
Now you see why we were talking about trying to trade for this guy, and why Howie was maybe really in the conversation of potentially trying to trade for this guy. But I'll say this to you. Are you concerned about this?
No. I'm not concerned about it, but I think it's something to watch. I mean,
but it's been the entire camp.
Well, that's where I think you have to keep an eye on it, because you have obviously an off season where everybody is involved in a lot more things. There's White Houses, there's GQ shoots, there's magazines, there's all sorts of different things from the Super Bowl. There's parade, you name it, they're doing it, and then you come back to camp and you're not really clicking on all cylinders with the offense. But look, it's practice. You know what I mean? Like I don't think you sit here and you get really concerned about it. But I think it makes you realize that it's not all perfect, and the team has a long way to go to get back to where they have to be to go and win another one.
Here would be my only comment to that would be, yeah, but Xander, that's how they evaluate players is the joint practices and practice. They don't use the exhibition season. I mean, this is how they evaluate. True. I mean, they're not going to play preseason football. So how else are you going to evaluate if you don't take a look at what you're doing in practice? And by the way, I'm with you. I'm not saying, I would have more of a problem if they were saying that, my God almighty, the defense just looks horrific. And there'd be more of an issue with that. But at the other hand, there's a lot of talent. And remember something, you're coming off of people still with the perception that the passing offense, again, a year ago, and folks in Philly have a different opinion than what a lot of other people have. They think they can use it whenever they need it. Well, I don't know. You're struggling at camp. You didn't have really a good output a year ago in the passing game, except for 2 games that mattered. All true. But again, here we go. I heard John say they really didn't have a really great passing game a year ago, and now they're not having a great camp in passing.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not the strength of the football team. It's just not. It hasn't been, and I don't expect it to become the strength of the football team. I think they're capable of doing it when needed to do it, as they've done in the past, but I don't think it's ever going to become their identity. I don't think it's ever going to be the main thing for the offense. I think they're going to rely on the offensive line. I think they're going to rely on Saquon Barkley. They're going to rely on the dual threat ability of Jalen Hurts, and they're going to continue to build around that, and by the way, Kevin Patullo is the guy who manages this passing game. So he's now elevated to the coordinator. There is probably some level of giving him maybe a little bit of time, but hasn't he been in charge of the passing game the last couple of years?
Yes, sir. I mean, the last 3 years he has been.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's see what happened. I mean, what do people want me to say? It doesn't matter at all that they fucking got beat by the shitty ass Cleveland Browns. They got taken in a woodshed today by a shitty Browns team. I don't know. People, it's okay. It is okay. All right. Yes, it is okay. But it's also still okay to say, what the fuck, Eagles? How did he get beat by the shitty Browns in practice? I mean, what the heck?
So Kevin Patullo has been in charge of the passing game for the 23 and 24 season, right? Give him a grade.
23 was all right.
Really? A lot of turnovers.
A lot of turnovers, but that's not on him.
No, it's on the quarterback.
Yeah, I'd give him about a B.
A B! Whoa! You sound like ESP.
I could have said A, you would have had that same reaction. I could have said D, you would have had that same reaction.
Holy shit! A B, you sound like ESP or M. Reyes. There you go.
Yeah, having a zissy fit. That's pretty funny. I'll give him that. I don't know, M. Reyes. Are you happy to hear that the fucking 44-year-old Joe Flacco-led Cleveland Browns took our Eagles to the woodshed on our turf at practice? I want to win, M. Reyes. It's a lifestyle. Okay? Man. You want to win in everything you do.
That's right.
You have a handshake with somebody. You want to win. You want to impose your dominance. You go into practice and you're getting taken to a woodshed by the shitty Browns. I don't know.
They are struggling at corner.
Yeah, I know. They stink about it. They stink. That's brutal. I think Vic's going to be able to cover it up a little better than we think, just because he's got Cooper and Quinion and Reed, and they're like enough where you can probably get them, where you want them to be and mitigate it a little bit. But yeah, Keely Ringo is now demonstrably
not ready.
Keely bingo. Adoree Jackson.
I'm not giving up on him, but I'm going to say
I'm not worrying about 26. Yeah, he's 23 years old. I'm not going to put a ceiling on the kid. He might be good in the future. I need you to be good right now for 2025. That's what I need. I don't care about 26. I don't care about the future. I don't care about the rest of your career. I need you to be good right now. He's not proven that he can do that at all. I mean, how many things do we have to see? Yesterday, Ed Kratz wrote a report about the practice. In the same way that he got burnt by Jamar Chase in the preseason game, he got burnt by Jerry Jeudy on an out route, who turned around and ran the ball into the end zone because Ringo was out of position. I don't know. How much more do you got to read? Maybe he can turn the page by the season. I don't think Jacorian Beignets, as Pumper would call him, is going to be the answer. I think he's more of a Isaiah Rodgers type role maybe this year. I don't know, a second guy who comes in when needed. And then you got Adoree Jackson. I don't know. You want
I don't think Adoree Jackson makes the team.
You want Adoree Jackson to be your starting corner? I don't. I don't.
No. I mean, I don't. Again, I'm gonna. So is Howie gonna make another move for corner?
No, I don't think so. Not unless Vic says, "Hey, man, this is catastrophic." You go into that week 1 game, man, and Dakota just starts taking Keely Ringo to the woodshed. Dakota, I swear, if all you nerds who are mad at me for chirping at Keely Ringo, if Dakota Prescott picks on Ringo in that week 1 game, you will not hear the end of it. I swear to you, you won't hear the end of it, man. I need you to step up, Ringo. Hey. If you get beat by who are they even going to put on the outside? By the way, they're going to line Lamb up in the slot, probably most of that.
That's right. And guess what? That means that you'll see Cooper probably play in the safety position and in the nickel, because he'll be more in the middle of the field, and you'll have Q probably following Pickens around. So he'll get the lesser of the receivers. Cooper and Q will probably guard the two wideouts. So you'll be covered okay in that first one. The second one with Mahomes, and then the third one with Stafford are the ones that I'm talking about.
That one's a tough one because you got Adams, you got Kupp, you got Higbee, you got the running back, Kyron Williams. They got some players, and Stafford's obviously the guy who
Devontae Adams too.
Exactly. So if you put Quinyon on, I don't know, Puka Nacua or Devontae Adams, well, one of them is going to go up against the other dudes. I think that's where for all the people who say don't put Cooper on the outside, man, I think there's certain games you got to put Cooper on the outside. You gonna let Devontae Adams on the outside? Come on, man.
You know why you need him in the Buck game?
Wait, Brian Pumper, you love Ringo. Devontae Adams versus Keely Ringo. You feel good about that?
No.
You feel good about that? Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, Pump. This kid, Keely Ringo, can't cover Anaya Smith.
I know.
And he's going to go against Devontae Adams?
Not
Come
good.
on, man.
Not good, Big Sil.
So don't you think that the roster, what Vic said a couple weeks ago, that the roster is dictating that Cooper play outside? Why don't they put him out there? Why aren't they practicing him?
John's like, hey, they don't want him out there. Vic would put him out there if he wanted them out there. They traded for a corner before they put him on the outside. They're showing us that they don't want him on the outside. As much as I want him on the outside, they're showing us they don't want him on the outside. Right? I mean, they traded for Jacournian Beignets before they put DeJean on the outside. They got rid of Thomas Booker. They got rid of a good player to bring in this guy. Thomas Booker was a good player. He was solid.
Did you hear Jordan say, hey, man?
Yeah, and Vic was like, I'm going to miss him.
Yeah.
So you sent somebody to bring in this guy. I think that tells you maybe everything you need to know there.
Absolutely here. So how you feel about Brett Mantooth and Tyler Steen as your guards in week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys? You all right with that?
Yeah, I feel okay. I think
because Dallas doesn't have an interior tackle.
Well, not even that. I just feel in general, I feel pretty good about those guys. I mean, not long term. Obviously, we're waiting for Dickerson to get back, but I think Toth is good enough to prevail for a week or two or whatever. And I actually, I'm coming around. I'm gaining some confidence on Tyler Steen. I mean, I listened to Lane Johnson. He's having an unbelievable camp. He really has turned the corner. And I know it's just a preseason game last week, but he did make some great blocks in that preseason game. So that's much better than the alternative of if he got burnt. He never stuck out in that game at all, never got beat really to the point where it was visible to the eye or impacted an offensive play. I feel a little better about Steen. You got Cam Jurgens still in the middle. You still got your 2 tackles. I feel all right about that. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the cornerback. This is in training camp. Or no, forget training camp. In June, when you and John were saying to me about the edge rushers, and maybe you were on the corners too, because you're on everything you're on every weakness. But I've been saying all summer, my biggest concern with the team is not the edge rushers. It is the corners.
I never had a problem with the corner. I never had a problem with the edges. I just said this.
John still says it's his biggest concern.
Well, because I think he's more about setting the edge, and I am too. My problem the whole time was the linebacker, the safety, and the corner. Because you know why? They're all new first-year starters. And my problem with Keely was this. You couldn't beat Isaiah Rodgers out. And then people are trying to tell me that Trotter is a push with Dean. Trotter couldn't beat out fucking Oren Burks. Why is that an upgrade? Tell me one place that you have a new player playing at right now of the 7 guys that will potentially be landed. What?
It's 0.
Okay.
I mean, what am I going to blow smoke at your ass? I mean, even Ajomo. Ajomo is the most optimistic one, but right now on paper, he's not better than Milton Williams. I mean, you guys all heard my debate, I'm sure, with John McMullen, and I've talked about it for a long time now, but I'm very optimistic on Moro Ajomo, but I'm not going to sit here and lie. I mean, he's not a better player right now than Milton Williams is. I'm excited for Trotter Jr. He's not better than Nakobe Dean. You said that earlier in the show. He's really not even close. I mean, Nakobe Dean was a really good player last year. Darius Slay and Isaiah Rodgers, the combination of those two, I mean, Jacorian and Keely Ringo are burnt toast, compared to those two guys who had really good years last year. CJ Gardner-Johnson, Makuba and Brown or Gardner-Johnson. I mean, come on. Gardner-Johnson created how many turnovers last year? 6, I think.
He had 6.
So, we got
12 in 2 years.
On paper, we are worse everywhere. That doesn't mean you can't have a sense of optimism but it's that word that you talk about all the time. It's potential. And potential just means you haven't done it yet. So until we say it, hey, look, somebody said to me this morning, hey, we said the same thing about the defense last year at this time. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. We were ripping the linebackers. We were uncertain about Slay's age. We were uncertain about
even Milton.
Yeah, right. So you're right. They could still do it. But the more years you go into it with these problems, I mean, the less likely you are to continue to do it on a year in, year out basis. So we'll see. We'll see.
Do you think Vic covers all this and all these concerns?
It's a lot to ask of Vic, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a good coordinator, but he's a good coordinator. He's not, David Blaine. He's not a magician here. So,
right. I mean,
what can he do? I don't know. I feel like he's going to – one thing I think he'll do is I think he'll mitigate – I think he'll let the weaknesses impact the team as like the least amount possible. That doesn't mean they won't impact the team, but I do think he will have the system, the setup, the zone, and the scheme to kind of minimize as much as possible how much those negative plays impact the overall defense. But that doesn't mean he can just, turn water to wine here. So let's see what he can do. It's going to be definitely a challenge, but overall, I would say probably not in terms of, I don't know. I still feel like this team is a top 5 defense potential, but it's potential, and we got to see what they can do.
All right. Hey, guys, we'll read your super chats. Please hit that like button. What about Bobo Matulo? You think that's why we have –
come on, Keely Bingo, I'm fine with.
He
hasn't done shit.
Do you think that's why the offensive passing game is struggling? Because 23 and 24, I mean, this guy's
you can't call him Bobo yet.
This guy, I can't based on the fact that
yet.
you just said he was in charge of the passing game.
You can't call him Bobo yet. It's first year as a coordinator. Give the guy a fucking chance to breathe.
Oh, okay. So how do you think his off season's going so far in preparing the team in the passing game?
It's going like many camps probably do. I mean, he's had a lot of injuries.
No. You're not going to go into the Jets camp and fucking compare the Jets to the Eagles on me on that one. How do you think the defending world champions are? Because isn't this a quote from Xander Krause? For us to be able to be a good football team this year, we need to expect more from Hurts in the passing game. Quote.
I wouldn't say that's my exact quote.
Get the fucking book out.
I wouldn't say that's my exact quote, Sileo. I mean, that's a Sileo version.
It was
something. Sileo says he's quoting somebody.
Well, bro, you're not going to win
the grain of salt. I got a pending lawsuit on my desk to prove that Sileo is not very good at quotations, everybody.
How? Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Hey, all I'm saying is
we had to call somebody and say, guys, he was paraphrasing. Relax.
It's very true. I won't lie on that one there. Thank you very much for look at him go deep on me and go to the back of the onion. Holy shit.
Wait, I get a call one day. One of the media companies in Philly, Dan Sileo quoted one of our guys and said this, and we're going to have to threaten legal action if you don't rescind that comment or the quotation marks. All right, shut the fuck up. Click.
I got to use quotation
It's called paraphrasing, asshole. Shut up.
Okay, so I'm going to paraphrase the book.
Yeah, you're going to paraphrase my quotes too, all right, Sileo?
Okay. Here, quote. Okay, paraphrasing. Didn't you say that you're going to need to have more from Hurts in the passing game this year because teams are going to scheme up the run game? And when you've got here, I'll tell you what, I'll make everyone feel better. Buddy Patullo, okay? His buddy. Okay, not Bobo. We'll go Buddy Patullo.
You're not even giving him the benefit of the
Dude,
doubt.
I tell you, man. I find myself wanting to kill.
Yeah, you're like I'm going to report this to the Italian mob. I mean, this is ridiculous here.
I mean, right. The defamation people in the Italian society, you probably want a word with me on this. But here, I mean, don't you think here, man? I mean, this guy's got to improve the passing game this year, and Hurts has struggled in camp. I mean,
But Sills, what does that mean? You know, wait
I don't know.
The guy wins a fucking Super Bowl MVP, and you downplay it. And
Okay.
then he's got a bad camp practice, and you want
No,
look,
not
it's
a bad
not
camp
great.
practice.
I wanted to beat the Browns in practice. We got our ass handed to us.
No, wait. Not a bad
I'm not going to sit here and make bold proclamations about Jalen because he's had
a bad practice. He's having a bad camp. Here, listen.
I haven't heard that anywhere.
Okay, here's WIP. It was not a bounce back day for Hurts and the offense, likely hoped for coming off of a turnover-filled day one. Hurts and the offense didn't have a passing touchdown in a drill, folks. 11 on 11 is set up for the offense to succeed. The majority of those snaps were from the 25 and in. He had 2 chances, and he overthrew Devontae Smith twice. If there was a positive, it was Hurts didn't have to put the ball in harm's way so he could have it turned over. Hey, congratulations for not robbing a bank. In Hurts' defense, the first-team offense, here we go, didn't have A.J., Saquon, Lane, and Landon. That's an obvious factor. Well, no shit. When his team wasn't filled with great players, he looked like a bum. I'm just saying. I mean, he looked like a bum. That's what the kid – I didn't say that. I mean –
what do you mean he looked like a bum? The guy is clearly not a bum. He's got a 700 win percentage in the NFL.
I added that. I'm sorry. He didn't say he obviously.
Yeah, I know. Oh, another paraphrase.
Okay, wait. Still ending the 2 days against the Browns without a strong showing. It has to be disappointing for Hurts and the offense, and the joint practices did not look well, and the sessions did not end well. Oh, I mean, I didn't write that. That's people who are there. I can't wait to hear John. I turned on and watched your show. John was like, yeah, the running, the passing. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, John calls it boring. He says, it's a very boring offense. I'm like, all right. Jay,
I'm okay with boring. Boring wins. Dude, they were boring.
Well, I mean, yeah, it can win, but can a boring offense win if the defense is 15th in the league instead of first?
No, you're right.
That's my question.
Now, look, if it's in your room where you got these guys as not being the Lindbergh cheese defense and it's number 5.
They're not going to be Lindbergh cheese.
Oh, they're going to be around 12 to 15. You can guarantee you that one.
All right, so how is that Lindbergh cheese?
That sounds
like just a rack of American at the deli.
Hey, I don't like American cheese. I'm more of a
me either. Do I look like I eat American cheese? I don't eat American cheese.
Yeah, I don't eat that yellow stuff. That bullshit. Yeah. I don't eat that either. And someone tried to put yellow cheese.
The only nasty cheese I will subject myself to is a little bit of Cheese Whiz when I get a cheese. I am a little bit of a sucker
with that. I like Cheese Whiz too.
I do it. People are like, no, you gotta do provolone. I'm like, it's a cheesesteak, dude. Give me the Cheese Whiz. Give me the bottled Cheese Whiz. I don't give a shit how nasty it is. Give me it. All right. Put it on top of my cheesesteak. Smother it with onions. Smother it with whiz. Give me double meat in that bitch.
And peppers?
No, not my cheesesteaks. I love peppers, but not my cheesesteaks.
How about this? How do you think the Eagles have played? No, I'll take that back. How do you think they've prepared for the upcoming 2024 season, 2025 season? How do you think they've prepared?
What do you mean? How have they prepared? Why? Anything in the Bible?
I'm the one asking the question. I'm wanting your answer here. You're questioning the question here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a stupid question. What do you got the book over there of how to prepare for an NFL season?
How do you think they have been so far in camp? What kind of camp? Give me a grade you think the Philadelphia Eagles have had so far in 2 weeks of training camp.
In training camp?
Training camp.
B.
Oh, my God. You got a fucking revolving door at corner over there. Every week, every day I turn on the show, there's like another dude added to the mix. It's like 9 guys over there. Pretty soon, Xander's going to put his name in to run for corner out there.
Man.
I mean, dude. And by the way, you really think, are you talking yourself into Sidney Brown being a good player this year? If that's
I like Sidney Brown, but the thing I don't like about him is that he doesn't have fun. He doesn't play fundamental football. I mean, dude, you're big and strong.
But it's DJ.
Now, this is what I don't like about Sydney. All right, because he's actually I think he has potential to be a good football player. But listen to this. So Tim McManus put out a tweet today. All right, he's from ESPN. He covers the Birds for ESPN.
Yep.
He tweeted out today his notes from day 2, and he says an active day for Sidney Brown. And this is what I don't like. Ready? He shouldered tight end Harold Fannin to the ground following a completion near the boundary. Like, why are you? That's how you got hurt. Why are you shouldering people
and not wrapping up?
Wrap up. Play fundamental football. Isn't Vic out there saying, "Yo, dude, you're big and strong and fast. Wrap up." I mean, I learned that when I played CYO.
Yep.
Wrap up.
That's right.
Pick your head up and wrap. I mean, I don't really get that.
I think he wrote that line on purpose. I shouldered him.
Well, I think I think he's trying to illustrate that it wasn't, Sidney Brown didn't just get somebody to the ground. He hit him and he fell.
That's right.
And to be fair, Sidney can probably get away with that more than most because he is pretty damn strong. But good luck versus, the big tight ends in the league. Good luck versus David and Njoku, who they're out there at practice today. Good luck versus Kelsey. Good luck versus, some of the good tight ends in this league.
AJ Brown's hurt again. Man.
Oh, come on.
I'm just, hey, how come when I ask a question, I'm just saying, AJ's hurt again. He's not out there. What's going on with AJ Brown? How many practices has he missed?
Are you telling me that you're not
actually? How many practices has he made this offseason?
Are you telling me that when you ask questions, you don't have any little twang attached to the way that you're asking it? You're telling me I'm completely crazy for hearing a little bit of Sileo-ification coming through?
I'm just asking, is he hurt again? I mean, are we starting to see the unraveling?
Wait, you see how the offense performs without him? He better be in bubble wrap.
Boy, I mean, you don't really think there's something to the fact that those guys haven't really been on the field together, Devontae and how are you going to develop your passing?
Remember, I didn't hear anything all offseason either of Jalen working with AJ. Remember, AJ put out a tweet this summer and said, any quarterback in the area that I can work with?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think there's going to be a lot of book reading, especially with this one. This was interesting, and I'm sorry that we couldn't yesterday because I know you were working. We had a shitload of people on because I miss our segment when we don't, but I didn't bring this up with you. Holy cow, look at this. So Fox Sports came out with the top 5 receivers in the NFL. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, and Amon St. Brown.
Malik Neighbors? What the fuck has Malik Neighbors done to be in the top 5? That is the stupidest ranking I've ever heard.
Not me, Fox Sports. They did it.
Malik Neighbors. That guy's lucky if someone puts him in the top 10. Malik Neighbors.
When you have the 4th worst passing offense in football, you're not going to be in the top 5.
Is Malik Neighbors going into year 2? What did this stiff do last year that everyone said top 5? 109 receptions for 1,204. Pretty good.
Wait, and guess who threw the ball to him?
That's the tougher part. That's the tougher part. I agree with that. All right. That's the tougher part about it. So
Here's my.
Wait a second. You hearing about what's happening at the communist camp?
No.
Ooh, it ain't pretty coming out of the communist camp. It ain't pretty coming out of the communist camp.
Tell me what up.
I heard someone today said the vibe is off.
Oh my God.
Jaden Daniels is not looking good.
I know.
That'll be a Nostradamus Big Z production.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I heard that Jaden Daniels is a different looking.
Shut the fuck up immediately after seeing the stats. Yeah, the stats are better than I thought, Keith.
Let me tell you, I heard that Jaden Daniels looks like he's amazing.
No, you didn't hear
that.
I
have
heard what I heard.
Yes, I have.
What?
He goes like this. My second year is night and day right now.
Jaden Daniels is about to have a sophomore slump, the likes of which we've never seen.
I know you keep praying, son, but he'll have a really great
22
game.
touchdowns and 26 picks.
I know. Yeah. And here's my prediction on Hurts. 28-75 and 15 touchdowns. And they still win the Super Bowl.
Shit, I'm good with that. Are you kidding me?
I know, man.
I'm
Hey,
good with that.
here's my list right here. Listen, do I think this Fox thing? No, I don't. Listen, I can see the Jamar Chase shit. Don't you think it all dictates on the quarterback? If you've got Joe Burrow, you want Jamar Chase. If you've got Josh Allen or Lamar or Jalen, you want a guy like AJ, right? Because he blocks in the run game and those quarterbacks take off and those guys are – I want AJ.
Wait a second. You're talking about the guy like he's fucking Johnny Wilson and he's only good for blocking in the run game. He's one of the best receivers in football, Sells.
Okay, well, they were on a 9-8 team and they had no run game and they went nowhere.
I'm just saying.
AJ Brown.
You're bringing up AJ and wait a second. Your only thought on AJ Brown is that he benefits the run game. Yeah, that's an add-on. That's a little bit of an add-on for that.
And get you 1,500 yards.
Well, not last year, but yeah, he's a great receiver.
Well, because quarterback in the passing game by Buddy Patullo.
No. It was just last year was their use rate was very low, but their efficiency rate was very high. So maybe you bring that usage up a little bit to get more to incorporate AJ Brown a little bit more, make you a little bit more of a three-headed monster as an offense, and then you go from there. I mean, last year was dictated by the success on the field. It was circumstantial. If Saquon Barkley doesn't run for 2,500 yards, what does AJ Brown do? You can't forget that. If you were trying to run and you couldn't run, and then you couldn't get the pass game going, you ran and nobody could stop it.
And what you eliminate, though, is the reason they got to that part and how they did it was because they were turning the ball over in the first four. They got to that style of football because they had to, because the first 4 games, they were 2-2 and turning the ball over. And, okay, they got there because of the way the team started. Not they evolved. They didn't evolve into it. They went to it because they were 2-2. Okay, so at the end of the day, it wasn't something like it gradually got there. They went into that bye week and everyone started going, let's run the ball, let's run the ball, let's run the ball. Okay, and you're right. 14 different quarterbacks had more completions than Hurts had attempts. You're right. Low usage? You're damn right, low usage. All right. So, I mean.
So wait a second. So you'd rather see that number come up.
No.
Instead of succeed?
No.
I don't get it.
Oh, here, I'll help you get it. You're going to need it with that defense.
Well, that I understand. This year moving forward, I agree. But last year is circumstantial. And to say AJ Brown had a bad year or Jalen had a bad year, I think just leaves out too much context.
Well, okay. No. But they got, and like John said, they fell into that run game.
Yeah, all right. The way they got there, but are you judging the season on the first 4 games? I mean, you can't judge the season on that.
Well, yeah. Well, I am judging the season because after they decided to do the right thing, they didn't lose a game. Your season was won in the bye week.
Let's go look. Last year, Jalen Hurts had a 68.7% completion percentage and a 104 rating. I mean, he had a good year. It wasn't a big use. It wasn't over the top. They didn't need him to win many games with the arm. He had a good year. Fine year. I'm not worried about 2903 because you say I have to be worried about it.
I look at that passing game, and I'm sorry, it's not a top.
It's not impressive. I agree with that. It's not an impressive. They're not.
Think they have a top 10 passing game?
No.
But should they?
Should. Yeah, they should. They should. That's where I agree with you. It should be better. It should be better. Okay.
I mean, look, don't you agree the health? Are you more worried about AJ's health this year, or are you more worried about Barkley's health?
AJ's. Barkley got hurt a lot in New York, but that dude ran 450 carries last year, whatever.
I don't ever remember him I don't ever remember that guy being slowed up.
The only time I saw him get shaken up was when he did the backwards jump and he got his clock cleaned.
Yeah.
That's it. And then he came back in that game. So, I mean, AJ Brown's missed games both of the last 2 years. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe all 3 years since he's been here.
Marcus Hayes said something yesterday that I thought was interesting. And I've said this the entire offseason. I think you guys have backed up a lot. But Xander, I don't think you've backed up a lot where someone's overtaking you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense. I mean, I think it's fair at the surface to say the team is right now not as good. But remember, you're looking at, this is the problem with this comparison, because I don't disagree on paper.
The part, by the way, Xander, that bar was so high set by the end of the year.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Anything's going to look.
Yeah. Right now, yes, they're lesser. But like, we're comparing last year's finished product at the end of the year to this year's starting product. Like, what was the defense week 1 last year compared to what it is week 1 this year? I feel like that's a better comp. Last year's week 1 defense stunk. They fucking stunk. Well, in fact, not only me, not only you, but every person in this chat after week 4 was like, what the hell is going on with the offense and the defense? They both stunk. So last year, we're looking at the final product because of what it became by the end of the year. It's tough to compare that to where they are August 14th of this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, You're right. On paper, it's worse. But, like, let me see how they develop. Let me see, like, what they can become. Because I do think there's a lot of potential on that field. But it's potential. They got to become it. And if they don't, then you're going to be right. Then the players they lost were too big to overcome.
You know, Landon said something pretty interesting about Vic Fangio and how he disguises. He said this about the Browns. When Jim Schwartz lines up 4 guys in front of you, you kind of know where they are. Where Vic Fangio comes up with that 5 front, you really have no idea where he's going to slide guy. He does a lot of post-snap stuff. He does this and that. Boy, I'll tell you something, Xander. Vic Fangio, did you hear what he said about Marcus said about Vic Fangio? He compares him to like Bill Walsh and like guys who are some of the greatest play callers on offense and some of the greatest coaches in the history of the NFL, like Mike Shanahan.
Yeah,
guys like that. Dude.
You agree with that?
I'm starting to.
Really? 1 year of the 1 overall defense, and you're starting to?
I think all those years now get validated by what he did a year ago. Like having the number 1 team. Remember something. He's had the number 2, number 5. I don't think Vic in the last 20 years has been out of the top 11.
No, that's not true.
What year was it that he had a bad one? Chicago?
Let me look it up.
Was it Chicago he had a bad year?
Vic Fangio defense rankings by year. Let me look at this and see.
Last 10 years. Because I know they were pretty good at San Francisco.
Broncos, they were pretty good. First overall defense last year. It's going to be hard to find this, I think.
Yeah, I tried looking that up too a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's not that.
And what I did was I went. You know what I had to do? I had to go back and get his timeline on where he was, and I had to look at the defenses to go by number 1 defenses, and the top 10 defenses, top 20 defenses. That's right. Ask Gronk. Ask Gronk there. Ask Gronk that question. See if that comes up with that because. You know what? I'm trying to think because I didn't think he was that bad in Miami.
Let me plug it into ChatGPT and see.
Yeah, plug that because I can't remember where he was bad. You know, maybe in Carolina. Right? Like Carolina, I don't know if he was very good. Because he's
you see if it comes up. I'll grok it too.
Yeah.
Let me grok it.
Miami, he was kind of Pete. He was really good in pass rush. And they were a little low in numbers, but I thought he was in the top 10 overall in Miami with the defensive football teams. And that's hard. That's hard to find.
2020, they were the 21st overall defense in 2020 when he was the head coach.
In Denver,
he was the 8th overall defense. 23, he was the 10th overall defense. Last year, he was the 1st overall defense.
That's still pretty impressive. See,
I
think it is Chicago.
Let me do a little further.
I think it is Chicago.
That 2020 year is not very good. 21st. They were
giving I got it.
They gave up 390 yards per game in 2020.
Okay. Now, context has to be taken because you don't know if there's a ton of injuries on that team.
Yeah, all right, ready? We're going to run down the years.
Okay.
2000, which is a long time ago. 21st. 2001, 29th overall. 2002, 16th overall. 2003, 31st overall. 2004, 23rd overall. 2005, 31st overall. 2006, 2009, he wasn't a defensive coordinator. 2010, he was at Stanford. 2011, 4th overall defense. 2012, 3rd over. Is this right? Was he the San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah.
11 to
Yeah.
14? Yeah, okay. 3rd overall defense in 2012, so 4th, then 3rd in 11 and 12. 13, he had the 5th overall. 14, he had the 5th overall. Those are with the 49ers. So he had a nasty good defense with the 49ers for 4 straight years. 2015 with the Bears, he had the 14th overall. 2016 with the Bears, he had the 15th overall. Then he had 10th, 3rd in 2018, 12th in 2019, 21st in 2021, 8th in 2020, 8th in 2021, 10th in 23, and 1st in 24.
That's a hell of a resume.
Dude, it's all over the map.
Yeah, but wait, there's about Jesus, man. He hangs out mostly in the top 10 though.
Really?
I heard 10 bad.
2020, 21st, 2019, 12th, 2016, 15th, 2015, 14th, 2005, which is a long time ago, admittedly, 31st, 2004, 23rd, 2003, 31st, 2002, 16, 2001, 29, 2021st. So, yeah, more recently, he's been better. You're right.
So, do you think Schwartz was a better coordinator here?
I think that's probably tough to say. I mean, Vic's only been here 1 year, you know? Vic's only been here 1 year. I'm not, you just like you say about Jalen Hurts or any other player. 1 year is not enough for me to crown you. He did an amazing job last year, and I think overall he is a tremendous defensive coordinator and a tremendous defensive mind. I'm just saying, I don't know if he's got a resume like Marcus said. I'm sorry. I like him, but I don't know. You'd know more.
No, you're right. No, you're right. No,
I'm more of a football historian than I am, but
listen, I'll go with what you said there. I don't, I think I'm looking more recency bias here with that. This is his first Super Bowl he's ever won. I mean, the guy in KC's won 4. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah, which I don't think is a fully an indication on him. I mean, I don't think that's fully on him, but
how about this? There's 2 different franchises. He's won 2 Super Bowls or 3. Actually, has he won 5? No, he's won 2. KC, and he won 2 in New York.
Who, Spags?
Yeah.
Yeah, Spags has a great record.
Two different, I'm saying. So that's, I mean, hey, Jim Schwartz had a number 1 overall defense 2 years ago in Cleveland, and he won a Super Bowl with you guys.
Look at Keese. He sounds like John McMullen. There's 1 Super Bowl fucking year. Thanks, Keese McMullen.
What an epiphany that is. Wait, that's a real big stretch here.
Keese, I ain't asking for a Super Bowl. He was ranked fucking 31st 2 years, dick. Hey, what the hell, Keese?
You think it's too much to overcome this year?
It's a lot. It's a lot to overcome. But look, I think he's going to put them in a good position. But look, they moved on from some people because they had to crunch money. They had to crunch numbers. Let's see if what Vic's able to do with the players he's got. A lot of potential.
Let's play a game here. Let's say this thing hits the fucking brakes and they're 1 and done in the postseason.
Oh, gosh.
Is Howie going to get the heat?
What?
Wait, is Howie, Vic, or Nick?
You're saying if the defense blows and they get 1 and done, are you saying they're going to be mad at Howie for not regrouping?
No, I'm asking. Wait, you fans have set the bar so fucking high that it's Super Bowl or bust.
Stop blaming the fans. Listen to the owner. No. Listen to the way they speak.
Okay. I'm just a guy watching all of you freaks. You guys
Pete,
are up here.
Pete, how long have you been an Eagles fan, Pete? He says no one will get heat sales. They just won a Super Bowl. We fired a Super Bowl coach 3 years after he won it. The first one in history. How long do you think that runway is going to last, Pete?
Okay.
Oh, Pete.
So Lamar says it'll be nonsense. So if they don't win it this year, they get a hall pass, right? They built equity up.
Well, you didn't say not winning. You said 1 and done and the defense stinks. That's
what 1 and done and the defense stinks. And they get knocked out of the playoffs. And they get a hall pass because
I'm not letting you set this bullshit parameter because 31 teams don't win the Super Bowl. Now you're going to set this bullshit up like if they don't succeed, who gets the heat? No. There's a better chance they don't win the Super Bowl than they win it, statistically and from an odds perspective.
Oh, okay. I just here asking a simple fucking question here.
No, you're not.
Listen.
Oh, you have no nefarious intentions with these questions.
Does the Super Bowl give those guys a hall pass if they don't win the Super Bowl?
We're going to win the Super Bowl this year, I think.
Okay.
Who's
so there you have it.
Wait, who's coming out of the NFC? Seriously. Who is honestly a better chance to go to the Super Bowl than the Philadelphia Eagles? There's not a fucking team in the NFC. You can't even think of one.
This will come down to who's healthy. And if that's the case, the Eagles have been healthy for those teams, and you've got to have them in the top three. I think the top three teams are going to be Rams, Lions, and Eagles.
Me too.
Those are the three teams. Would you not do this, Andrew? We'll take those three teams, and then you can have the rest of the NFC in the field. And one of the teams are going to be those three teams that are going to win the NFC. Do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think it's one of those three. I definitely don't think it's the Commanders. Like not even fucking close. Like I would almost
winning the NFC.
I will wear a Jaden Daniels jersey for a week straight if they make it to the Super Bowl. No. They will not go further than they went last year. I 100% guarantee it.
Oh boy, I got to tell you, JAKIB.
I don't care. I will wear a Jaden Daniels jersey for 5 days.
You better get your knee pads ready, boss.
If they go further than they went last year, I will wear his jersey 5 days straight.
Okay, listen, Gary Cobb was in. He was in Oxnard.
Yeah, he's gonna.
And so, get what he's doing. He's Bill Belichick and he's Connor Barton. Or Barton Connor, that guy from Michigan, that's spying on the Dallas Cowboys.
And then G Cobb's going to roll into that Eagles practice with some of that intel on them NFC teams, baby.
You know this. Vic, get this. Vic and KP are going to go over to him go, hey, G Cobb, what we got looking at? Are they running a 2 tight end set? Because they don't have a running back. What's going on with the Cowboys? How's Dak look? Holy cow.
We'll see. Wait, let's rattle these supers before we get to G-Cobb, all right?
We'll get
real quick. Damon says, Xander, we needed you yesterday for teenage. You were on one yesterday, Sills. You were, man.
That corner.
Keely Ringo. Look. Keely Ringo. This guy's name is Keely Ringo. In the picture, look at the picture. It's a piece of burnt
toast.
He says, well, I'm all y'all got and ready to get torched. All right. Nick says Jacorian Benoit is going to ball out.
Jacorian Benoit. He's now French.
Brian Pumper says, stop bringing up Isaiah Rodgers. That MFer got torched in the Rams game. We're lucky we got Q back the next week. People forgot how bad he was.
And then I saw Keely Ringo get worked over.
Isaiah Rodgers was not bad last year. That's a dumb comment.
Hey, Pump. And then I saw Keely Ringo get torched in practice by Anaya Smith.
Yeah, that's apparently happening a lot here. Nick says, hey, Sills, Amun-Ra St. Brown.
Amun-Ra St. Brown.
Damon Knight says, Sills is on that shit he was on in Miami. No comment, right, Sills?
No doubt. No comment.
All right, Sills, that's all.
Hey, dude, you got a big show coming up. John was out there at NovaCare Center, right? And
NovaCare Complex today for the joint practice number 2. Apparently, for those who missed it, the Eagles got throttled.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. So,
good.
Guess what? We have a whistleblower.
Yes, we do. All right, let me get out of here. See you, brother.
Brother, we got a whistleblower, folks. And his name is Gary Cobb from Fox 29. Don't say anything, okay? Because G Cobb was out scouting the Cowboys for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know G Cobb's got that eye for the NFL. And he's going to be sitting down behind the scene with with Nick Sirianni. Let's go to our friend now from Fox 29. The whistleblower himself, Gary Cobb.
No. How you doing? No, really, I'm out here. I'm over at Pepperdine now. See, our daughter works here. See, she's over the law school here at Pepperdine, and so That's really why I came out to see the grandkids and everything. And of course, I got an invite from the Cowboys to come over and check out practice. So I went over and I'm observing how they're doing. Now, they got some needs. Let's put it that way.
Whoa.
Yes.
I'm going to stop everyone.
Yes.
Folks, if there is one place in heaven that reminds me of Pepperdine, that overlooks Santa Monica and overlooks the ocean, and
Yes.
then you go up to the university, they've got this big land, and you overlook the coast. I want to die there. Bury me and spread my ashes. They're all over Pepperdine, because when you look at the Pepperdine from the road and then you see the ocean on the left, Gary, that is one of the most beautiful campuses I've ever seen in my entire life. It's breathtaking, isn't it?
It is startling, especially when you see everything on the mountains you can see. And then also you look out and there's the water. It is beautiful here, not bad at all.
Congratulations.
It would be a nice place to settle.
I'll tell you this, congratulations to little JAKIB for getting into that place, because that's not that easy as well. All right, Gary.
Yeah.
Psst, Blue Horseshoe wants to know, how do the Cowboys look out at camp?
Well, they're going to have to rely on Dak. You can see that he's got to play great. They've got to throw the ball. You don't see that the line, it does not impressive. I was looking at their line. And of course, they're going against their defense and everything, but I expect them to be a team. They're going to be throwing the ball. Dak is going to have to play great football. And I think that they want to come out and outscore people. Defensively, what was the trip is looking at Michael Parsons standing over there in a jersey. He's standing over on the side. Somebody need to teach him about holding out or whatever. You don't come in.
Yeah.
You need to be somewhere else. You need to. Your agent tells them, look, whatever, some kind of excuse or whatever. You're not over there, because being over there, see, then there's not. They say, well, Michael Parsons is here. You want them saying Michael Parsons is not here. See, and I mean, it doesn't make sense what they're doing with him and Jerry and everything, but that's another story. But I could go on and on about that, because how do you have your best defensive player? You don't take care of him. You look at the way the Eagles run their organization compared to the Cowboys, and that's why the Eagles have rings from last year, and the Cowboys, they haven't gotten close in so many years. I don't know what they're doing over there, but
they got vacation hats.
Yeah, that's
from a year ago. But I will say this. I'll tell you what Michael Irvin told me. Michael Irvin told me, if you want to get signed in Dallas, stop talking. Just stop talking, because Jerry likes the theater of it. And the more you keep the story resonating and on fire, the more he's going to like it. He says how we got paid was nobody said anything. It started going silent. Jerry said, I need to spark it. Let's sit there. Do you agree? He's going to be running out of the tunnel. September 4th in Lincoln Financial, he's going to be running out of that tunnel playing for the Cowboys.
Yes, he will be. There's no way they could let him go, and they will sign him. But you're right in that Jerry does like staying in the news. He loves it. If they're talking about the Cowboys, he figures that's a good thing. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, whatever, it doesn't matter. So he's playing into that. So, you are right. And the best thing for him to do would be to get quiet and being around. I don't think is the best solution. But I'll tell you, the Eagles, I think, they don't have. You just look at their practice. The Eagles really have a certain attitude at practice. They really go after each other. Even though, from what I heard, they didn't. They got taken to the Browns. Took it to them.
2 days, the Browns put it on them. I mean,
that's startling.
Jalen didn't look good. The passing offense didn't look good. Jordan Mailata got annihilated by Myles Garrett today.
Well, Garrett has taken a lot of people to the cleaners, but I don't know what to say about it. I mean, the guys have been pretty good about making sure they show up for the battles. But if they got their butts kicked, maybe it'd be a good thing in the long run that they start out the season with a sense of urgency. Because winning. It does kind of soften you. There's no doubt about it. These guys can say, oh, it's not a big deal. But they're still patting themselves on the back. Everywhere they go, people, oh, you guys are the greatest, Come on, your money's no good here. You guys, sit down, have something to eat and everything. They get greeted by everybody. And it really, the way Jalen Hurts was saying, really is, it's not easy to shut it down and to let that stuff go in one ear and out the other, because you're still kind of celebrating. And the thing is, if you get to the season and you're really still emotionally still celebrating, you're gonna get jumped. You're gonna have some teams punch you right in the mouth, and before you know it, you're walking out with an L.
How about this, Gary? Jalen Hurts struggled today, and he's been struggling the last couple practices. And really, if you want to make a comment about it, he's really struggled the entire camp. Now, you say struggling. The only reason that I bring this up is because they don't play preseason football. Yeah. They get all of their evaluation out of the joint practices and practice. So how are you going to evaluate what you're doing or where you're going when you don't play in the exhibition games? And so I'm not saying to play in the exhibition games because they've been right with their health, but that's all I can go on is what they're doing. So my question to you, is this more about Kevin Patullo, or is this more about Jalen Hurts struggling a little bit here in camp, or is it both?
Well, I think you probably would say it's both. But I think in fairness with Patullo, though, they don't really put together a game plan for the preseason. You go out, you run certain plays, you're taking a look at things. So he's really almost like experimenting through the preseason. They're not running a game, to try to win the game so much as they want to see what certain plays look like. And really, I don't know if any of the starters are going to play anyway. They're probably not. They're not going to play. So the practices, that's why, I regret kind of missing, yesterday and today to see what they look like, because they really put more in those practices, in those plays against the Browns. Now, the one thing the Browns do have, the Browns do have some monsters up front.
Oh, yeah.
And
they're good in the secondary.
And they're good in the secondary. So, they are a team defensively, and everybody's known they got some marquee players. So, if they get up for you and the Eagles, their timing wasn't good or whatever, I could understand them having some problems, but it might be good in a way because, getting a kick in the butt is probably the best thing for them. If they go out and they score a bunch of points, they've had enough positive stuff. They could use the kick in the butt. So I don't have any problem with them if they play poorly. Let's say in the preseason, and one of the practices and everything, that gives the coach a chance to chew them out and probably wake them up a little bit.
How about this? AJ and Devontae have only practiced 3 games.
I know.
Are you concerned? Yeah. Maybe their plays a factor too with the continuity that they're trying to build on the offensive passing game. They've only practiced together 3 times. So is that a problem?
I've been out there for a lot of the practices, and AJ's been on the side most of the time I've been out there, and then sometimes, I think a few of those times Devontae was out as well, and they had the backups. So I wouldn't really get too worked up about it. It depends on where they are mentally. But, this is new time football now, man. If a guy even looks like his ham is tight a little bit, shut it down. Most of the time I go out there, there's at least 10 guys not practicing. That's just the way it is nowadays, man. I see it on every team. So it's not like one team. It's just a thing now where if a guy is thinking about maybe he get injured, shut it down. That's just the way it is. The guys just do not practice a lot. And if there's any chance remotely of them straining anything, pulling a ham, they shut him down, man. So, I see it with every team. That's the way it is.
Let me go here with you here now. Okay.
Yeah.
So Landon Dickerson gets hurt.
Yeah, I saw that.
And boy, I'll tell you what, we had Dr. Chow on with us, and I spoke to Dr. Chow again last night. He goes, I'd be very, very surprised if he played week 1. He just had the surgery yesterday. They waited for it. And the meniscus, as you know, Gary, it's not like ACL or MCL. You're kind of shaving it. It's the stuff on top of the knee. And so, it's the stuff that goes like this. I tell people it's the stuff right here. And you could actually play without a meniscus, but it's very painful. So, but still, all that being said, they got good news. But what does that mean? Because now you got Cam Jurgens with a back injury that is kind of still coming through it. You got Landon Dickerson. And then you've got, Tyler Steiner supposedly is having a really good camp. Are you concerned again a little bit about the health going into the season here? Because, if the passing game is struggling, you can't have that run game struggle.
Well, that's why, you mentioned Kevin Patullo. If that running game is not there, then a lot of it's going to fall on his back. It's on his shoulders to get that offense going. And with all of the young players that they have on the defensive side, they really can't afford for the offense to be struggling. They can't afford it. Look at all those young kids they got on defense. Unless they're going to go out there and just, hit the ground and just start dominating, which is a lot to ask when you got so many new guys. That there are teams that all offseason, they've been designing plays for their defense. So they're going to have a challenge in front of them. I just hope that that offensively, though, that they're there because they need them. Because, defensively, you got young players. It's like you get in a huddle and you look at young players. I'm telling their eyes tell them, that you don't see that surety and they need to get out. They're a little scared.
Cobb. Hey, Cobb, is it a 3 technique or 1 technique? 3 technique or 1 technique? What?
Hey, a lot of times, you get up to the line of scrimmage and the kid is asking you, you're going like, kid, what are you doing out here? But that's part of it. When you got young players, man, young players make mistakes. And so I hope their offense is ready to carry them for a ways. They don't need to, just leave that defense out there where the defense has got to carry them. I don't think they're going to be ready for that,
How about this, Gary? You tell me this. The opener, if Landon doesn't go, you'll have a new left guard, a new right guard, a new edge, a new defensive end, a new first-time starter at linebacker, a first-time starter at corner, and a first-time corner at safety. That's 7. You look at Howie here. Tell me where you think they upgraded this offseason with. Look, Becton and Landon versus Tyler Steen and some dude named Tooth. You got an edge rusher with Jalix Hunt instead of Josh Sweat. Yeah. You got a defensive end in Mauro Jomo who's having a good camp instead of Milton. You've got Trotter instead of Dean. You've got at corner whomever. There's 7 guys out there.
Yeah.
You had Slate and Isaiah.
Wow.
And at safety, you had CJ. Now, dude, Makuba, that Andrew Makuba guy got hurt in helmets and shorts.
I know. Well, the thing that you hope, some of their defensive line, the guys have looked promising. But that, come on, you can't take that. That doesn't mean anything.
Right.
So I'm concerned. I tell you, I'm concerned, especially because I think they needed to lean on the offense to Landon to miss some time. They need Dickerson in there, man. Because he's the core side of that. Really, that left side of the line is supposed to be the strongest side. Him and Mailata, and you got all that size. Both of them nearly 350 pounds. You want to pound people on that side. And now I don't know how long he's going to be out. Hopefully, I saw him walking and everything. You hope that it's not going to be long.
Well, I know it has to be good because he had 2 coolers of beers and Miller Lights. So if you're carrying 2 coolers of Miller Lights for everybody, I mean,
Hey.
I have to think that you're pretty good here. But again, I mean, Gary, is it the short off season because you go so far, you win the Super Bowl? You know, it just seems now that all the things that people were saying and you and I were saying about the replacements, I mean, I mean, can Vic do it again? In your opinion, this really comes down to can Vic do it again?
Well, you know, I think it's you know, they're going to need their best players to really step up. Like they are going to need, you know, of course, Saquon's got to play well, and you're going to need Jalen to have a big year. A.J. Brown and Devontae and all those guys are going to need to have great seasons. That's ultimately what it's going to come down to. And I think, you know, I believe in those guys. I think they're capable of taking over a game and doing whatever they need to do, you know, until their defense, you know, give those kids a chance to grow up over there. That's basically what the season's about. A lot like last year. Now, they're not going to run the ball as much. I don't see how they could put as much of the weight of the offense on Saquon as they did last year. But you know they got some backups there with that in that running back. You know, with some of the running backs they have. I think they can't put the ball in Saquon's hands that much. I mean, expect them. But you know he does look fresh out there. Saquon looks fresh. So I say, hey, let's go back to the well.
All right, let me ask you this.
Let's go back to the well.
Well, that being said, then, are you concerned about Petula making too many changes?
No, I think initially, I mean, come on, he's here in Philadelphia. He knows how the place would go crazy if he's not giving that ball to Saquon. So initially, they're going to start out now. If they're not having as much success, see, then that opens the door for him to do more. Now, you know, I think that they got to come out and jump on people. I want to see them come out and maybe at the beginning of a game, throw the ball a little more than they did. Yeah, get a lead. And then start pounding that ball down team's throats, you know. I'd like to see them do that.
I have to ask you this. Xander wouldn't play along with me, so I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
You worked in broadcasting in Philly for the last 30 years, okay? So let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hypothetically, play along with me here. They get bounced in the opening playoff game, okay?
Ooh. Yeah.
How he's built so much equity up with the fan base and with everyone. Would you not agree everybody's expectations are Super Bowl or bust right now?
Without a doubt, I would agree, yes.
Does Howie? Does Vic? Does Petullo? Who will be the Brian Johnson of this year if this doesn't go well?
Well,
who will be that Brian Johnson, Sean Desai?
It probably would be Petullo. He would probably get the hit, take the sword. He had to fall on the sword, you know, because he wasn't there. He wasn't there last year. See, he's the one guy who wasn't in position. You know, you can't mess with Vic, you know, because he was defensive coordinator last year. So unfortunately, Petullo is the guy that's circled. He's the new guy, you know. So they would have to let him fall on the machete.
That is Nick's boy, too. I mean, hey, so Nick would throw another guy under the bus like that?
Well, you know, it wouldn't be where he threw him under the bus. I mean, if they struggle, it'll have to be, you know, you blame it on the offense would get most of the blame. If they don't win, come on. You look at all the kids you got on defense. You're not going to really circle them. It's the guys. Come on. You got Jalen, okay? AJ Brown. I mean, come on. You got Devontae. Look at the money these guys. These guys are making big money. The offensive line, that offense has to dominate. Come on. They have to. Those guys, come on. Who's making the money on the team?
Hey,
the offense.
I've got to ask you this last question here then.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe that offense should have a top 10 passing game?
I think so, yeah. I think they do. I think they're going to need that this year, yes. And I think that they're going to be ready for it. I mean, they got the people to do it. They are going to need, because I think people are going to going to do everything to make sure that they don't run the ball on them. They're going to make them throw the ball. Because if I'm a defensive coordinator, that's what I have to do. I'm surely not going to let them run the ball down my throat and control the ball. I'm going to try to take away that running game and make them beat me through the air. That's exactly what I'm going to do. That's what KC did. Now, KC didn't win. It didn't work. So Jalen and the wide receivers have got to make sure it doesn't work.
Well, Gary, Fox just came out with the top 5 wide receivers in pro football.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't you and me. This is Fox Sports.
Yes.
They have Jamar Chase, number 1.
Okay.
They have Justin Jefferson, number 2.
All right.
They've got CeeDee Lamb, number 3.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Malik Neighbors, number 4. And they've got Amon St. Brown of the Lions, 5. No AJ.
Yeah.
No AJ in there. I mean, you know the book reader.
Hey,
he ain't liking that.
That's going to give him come in there with that chip on his shoulder. Good they did that. Okay, great. So he comes in with the chip on his shoulder, and they got to feed him. They got to feed him. They're going to be lined up to stop Saquon, and I think AJ's going to have a big year. Devontae's going to have a big year, and the Birds do it again.
Hey, I see the shirt color. Are you going to make it down to USC, or is this just
I got to go over there. You know, I got to go over there, see how everybody's doing. That's right. I got to go over there, see what's going on. Some people need a kick in the butt over there. Got to,
Gary Cobb, thank you so much, man. And what an absolute – see, Gary Cobb is not really showing you the view here, folks, because I've been to that place and I've gone to Pepperdine.
Hey. No.
There's like a ballpark.
It is beautiful out here. I tell you, it is.
Baseball park right across the street there.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting there at Pepperdine, you look right across, you see the ocean. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful view I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean,
That's
Gary,
right.
UCLA is nice.
Yes.
But that thing is just insane.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I can get up here and see the water out there. It's a nice office spot you got here. This will work.
What's your kid's degree? What's she working on there?
No. She's she's not going here. She works here. She's one of the administrators of the law office.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
This is her office. I'm sitting in her office, yeah.
Well, if I get a call from Bob Lang, you tell your daughter. If I get a call from Bob Lang, I'm calling your daughter.
Okay.
I might need some legal help.
Hey, sounds good. Hey, they got plenty of lawyers. I'm getting ready to go out here and eat, but they got all of these folks, getting their degrees out here. So got a lot of young lawyers out here.
Fantastic. Gary, have a safe trip back. Congratulations. Thank you so much, my friend.
All right. Have a good one.
You got it, folks. Appreciate it very much. Gary Cobb, Fox 29, giving us the skinny, giving us a little bit of the Dallas Cowboys as well. Him being out there, going over to USC. Really good stuff. All right. Damn. Man. Struggling offense. Troubles in the preseason. What in the world is going on? Man, not with your Eagles. Holy cow. Where to begin? Where to begin here? Hurts struggling. A.J. Brown, Devontae, not on the field, but for only 3 practices. The cornerback position. The safety. Man. How come your offense has never been a top 5 offense? With all that money you pay, with all that skill, so-called skill, how come not one of those guys that you name all the time, Devontae and AJ, I mean, they weren't a top 5 offense a year ago. The running game was a top 5 offense, not the offense itself. How come it's not top 5? I mean, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase are like the number 1 offense. You would think with that kind of offensive skill that Hurts would have the number one offense. How come he don't have the number one offense? Skill? So-called skill? We're going to end up having 10 players in the top 100. And then your passing offense is fucking the fourth worst. How you doing? Hey, nice job. Way to underachieve. Why doesn't Josh beat Mahomes in the playoffs? Because he doesn't have good players, or he doesn't have a very good team where he has exceptional players. They need to continue adding good players to his team. That's what they need. I mean, seriously, name me a receiver that could play anywhere. They don't have very good receivers. They got okay guys. Chase and Burrow played in college. I thought Devontae and Jalen played in college. Didn't they? Chase and Burrow played in college together and have the same OC for years. I thought Devontae and Jalen played together. Oh, maybe you forgot that. Number one offense. And it wasn't close, dumbass. We won the Super Bowl. You won the Super Bowl because Barkley was sensational. Josh Allen needs a super team to beat Mahomes. Okay. That's what Jalen needed. Yes. And? Okay. Right. Thank you. Finally, we agree. Josh needs a super team to beat Mahomes, like Jalen had. Right. Okay. And? What's the debate? Thank you. I guess. Oh my God, Sills. What would you rather do? Run the ball down their throats? No. That's Eric. I'd rather run the ball down their throats. But again, I asked you if you thought you should have a top 10 passing game. That's all I asked. That's all I asked. Do you believe you should have a top 10 passing game? And recognize the shit, you hater. Hurts is better than all those clowns. Okay. Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, my God. I'm not even going to debate that any longer because it's so fucking funny. No one labeled the Eagles team in the preseason a super team. Eagles win a Super Bowl and get labeled a super team. So you don't think teams can end up playing themselves into being one of the greats of all time? You don't think teams can end up developing by the end of the year being one of the great teams of all time? You think if you're not labeled it in the preseason, that if you're labeled it in the preseason, which you are now, labeled it in the preseason, wouldn't you rather find out whether or not your team morphs into being one? I don't understand this take. Once again, two fucking massive L takes by a guy who rarely has decent takes. Top 10 offense is good enough. Don't care how we get them yards. Only you give a bad word. Here, God knows what this will be. Here, I'm going to start laughing first. Eagles became a stacked roster at halftime. All the announcers and Pick'ems had the Chiefs over us. Funny, I didn't. I wore Jerome Brown jersey. I mean, no one picked the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. Well, when he got there, I did. I actually said I didn't think it was going to be close. So as long as we play like the number one offense, well, you didn't play like the number one offense and defense. There's where the problem's going to be. If you're the 15th or 12th best offense in football and your defense is 15th, you're getting bounced in the opening playoff run. I picked the Commanders to win the East. How you doing? Get it right, son. Get it right. Stop trying to change your Jalen Hurts narrative that you loved to pick when they drafted him out of Alabama. And these are the same people that kind of twist around a little bit, twist the little knobs a little bit. The real zeal. How about the real deal? Excuse me from the pundits, like always. Or excuses, excuse me. Sills, just admit you're a closet Eagle fan. Oh, I think they're fun as shit to cover. I absolutely think you picked the Commanders to beat the Eagles in the NFC title game. I did not. No, I did not. No, I did not. I actually picked them to win the Super. Well, no, again, when they got to the game against Kansas City, we picked them to beat them. I didn't think they'd get there. I won't lie on that one. I did not pick them to get and win the NFC champ or to get to the Super Bowl. I did not. I didn't think they'd get there. But after they beat Baltimore, I said that team might win the Super Bowl now. I do. No, that's just your ears, fuckbag. Twiz, my only concern is corner. Really? Not safety. Not Mantooth, or what's his name? Brett Mantooth and Tyler Steen. I actually feel pretty good about Tyler Steen. So why was Brady the GOAT ripping quarterbacks for throwing for 4K and 40 yards, but not knowing how to win, a.k.a. Jalen Hurts? Throwing for 40,000 yards, because that comes down to the coordinators. There's coordinators that win ball games, and then there's coordinators that put up a lot of yards. Okay? I'm not worried about Sidney Brown, who can't tackle. Are you nuts? Really? You have a corner that you have a safety you drafted who gets hurt in helmets and shorts, and you got a guy who can't tackle. Of course, Lamar isn't worried, because why would he be? Okay? Sills, we focus too much on bleeding the clock instead of scoring. No, bleeding the clock. Hey, bro, in the NFL, okay, Sills, just admit you're a closet Eagle fan. I think you're fun as shit to cover. How you doing? Hit that like button, freakazoids. Yes, sir. You can hide a corner in good safeties. Yeah, if you have 70 sacks and you have a ton of pressure, sure you can. You did it in 22. Yeah, you can. That's how Bradbury got paid. Bradbury got paid because you had 70 sacks. Yes. So you think, you guys keep telling me, hey, by the way, how many people in here believe that Dante Smith is a top 10 wide receiver? How many people believe that? Dante Smith is a top 10 wide receiver. Curious, do you think he's a top 10 wideout? I personally don't, but how about this? A top 13. Okay? Here's Pete. All right. How many people believe A.J. Brown is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL? How many people believe that? AJ number 1. Okay. How many people believe that Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback? You, everyone. Okay. So how can you have a top 10 wide receiver and a top 5 wide receiver and a top 5 quarterback and not have a top 5 passing game? It's theory. You just said AJ's number 1, Devontae's a top 10, the quarterback's top 5, and you don't have a top 5 passing game? Okay? I mean, how can you not? Number 1 running back, number 1 O-line, number 1 wideout, number 7 wide receiver, and a top 5 quarterback. And you don't have a top 5 passing game? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Wait, I got a number 1 wideout. I got a number 7 wideout. Got a number 5 quarterback. I got the top O-line. And I don't have a top 5 passing game. Make that make sense. Well, Derrick Henry was in Baltimore last year, and Baltimore was second in passing. And he had 1,900 yards. Saquon outrushed him by what? 105 yards? Xander, do we get our boy super chat here? Elite! By the way, some guy spoke. I want to get to that too. Jordan Mailata spoke. And so did Jordan Davis, by the way. I think who else? Somebody else did too. Cam Jurgens did. Yeah. I think Tyler Steen too. I actually liked what he said. I'm watching film on the South Carolina safety Kilgore. He might be the next Eagle next year. He's a zone safety. Well, shit. I mean, another corner, why not? Or another safety, shit. You know, I mean, hey, then get this, Kyle. You'll have a first, second, and third. They're at safety if you draft another safety. Wow, well done. The greatness of drafting. So let me get this right. If you draft another safety, you'll have a first, second, and third paddling out for one job. I can't wait to see how this pans out for Reed. Hey, by the way, I keep doing the update. Where's Reed's contract? Is that still coming? Or are you guys going to move the sticks on me? Where's the Blankenship contract? Where's the Blankenship contract? We're now going into week 2. How many people think Howie's already signed his deal? Seals, can't we roll coverage to hide the corner problems? If you have pressure, yes. If you get great pressure on the quarterback, you can. Remember something, though. Vic's defense a year ago wasn't pressure-ridden. It was edge setting. It had a lot to do with edge setting. You know, I didn't realize that Myles Garrett was 275 pounds. Holy shit, is that guy gifted. Man, oh man, he's 275? Good God almighty. That guy is easily one of the best defensive football players in the last 25 to 30 years. Holy shit, is that guy great. He beat Jordan. They sent me film. He beat Jordan Mailata today like a stepson. Okay, I mean, that guy is a freak show. And Mailata's the number 1 graded player in the NFL, and he tortured him today. I mean, holy shit, is that guy great. He's the best player in the NFL. Yeah, well, guess what? Demolada is awful, and he's not. He tortured your boy today. That is 275 is amazing. Dude, I agree. Myles Garrett's the number one player in pro football right now. Nolan Smith, Myles Garrett. That's like comparing, see this here? That's like comparing a lawnmower and a Ferrari. Holy cow. It's like a lawnmower and a Ferrari. That's what you're trying to compare. A lawnmower and a Ferrari. Holy shit. Listen to this here. Myles Garrett is 11th against the run. Micah, this is where John McMullen and I have difference of opinions. Micah Parsons is one of the worst players in the league. One of the worst players in the league against the run. Myles Garrett is one of the top 10 players in the league and gives you 14 sacks. I mean, Micah Parsons in Myles Garrett's league is a fucking joke. Myles Garrett is more of a comparison to Reggie White. Listen to this. I'm going to show you something about Garrett. And he was on the number one defense 2 years ago. Myles Garrett. I don't really even know how he's been the last 10 years here. So let me take a look at this. So here's him in sacks. 13 and a half, 11 and a half, 12 and a half, 16, 16, 14, 14. He's played 8 years. He's got 102 sacks. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all pros. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 first team all pros. He's won Defensive Player of the Year. He finished 3rd and 2nd. And he finished 9th in the MVP voting. That is a generational player. He's got 102 sacks. Dude, is that right? He never missed a game? He's missed a couple games. Yeah, in 19, he's missed a couple games. 22, he missed one. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he got held out in one of those games. And they got held out in 23 because they made the playoffs in that final game. So I remember that, but it's been like one game the last 5 years. So if you're going there, that's true. I'm not worried about anything other than a cornerback too. I have full trust in the coaching staff. They can't play for him. I appreciate the super. Thank you. And Jalen Stout will solve the left guard. I'm hyped for Barrett Mantooth, or whatever the guy's name is, that's going to play for Landon. Barrett Mantooth. Reggie has more sacks than games played. He's the only player that distinction has landed on. Now, if you add in Mark Gastineau's playoff games, Gastineau has that as well. Okay? Yeah, that shit there stupid with the speeding. That stuff's stupid. Absolutely true. That shit's stupid with the speeding and stuff. Very disappointing. All right. Sirianni spoke. Let me get to that. Let me get to that there. So, a lot of word salad today. But for the first time, he was actually honest. He goes like this. What was the practice like? He goes ups and downs. And he said this. too many mental and too many negative penalties and too many negative plays. We did not perform well against Cleveland. He was asked about AJ. Well, he's not going to tell you too much about injuries, but AJ's missed a ton of time. Does AJ need to be out there? Not really. The only reason that I would say that AJ needs to be out there a little bit is because it's a new coordinator, but they know one another. So again, it's not really kind of a big deal here with that. Hey, Sills, do you think it was the best option by Howie to focus on the next 3 seasons or to win now while keeping CJ, acquiring Slay back and Garrett before he got signed? I get this. They didn't want to hear it because every single time I asked the question, I had pushback from everybody. People in the market, people on my channel, everybody. When I said, don't you think they focused more on 26 and 27 than this year? People still want to ride on the parade this year. Well, I think it's in the best interest what Howie did. I'd rather have you in the next 5 years be in contention to win 3 Super Bowls than to do what Dallas and everyone else does by bringing everybody back, destroying your salary cap, and being like the Saints in purgatory. He kept your window open by thinking about 26 and 27. When, again, I don't really believe that, they've fallen below a lot of teams. I heard and I saw somebody in here say, what about Baltimore? Baltimore's got a good roster. But, until Baltimore does the things that Philly has done by getting further and farther, that you can't. I refuse to do this with Baltimore. Got a great football player at quarterback. They've got a great football player at running back, and they got a hell of a head coach. Still, man, you got to go far. When the Eagles go as far as they've gone in the last 3 years, you can't dismiss that. You just can't glaze over that. Well, fuck it. It's 4 years really of great winning. I mean, 23 was a shitty year, and they still won 11 ball games. When's the last time the Jets won 11 games? Sills, if you were an Eagle fan right now, what should we tell ourselves in this moment, knowing the hardship that'll take to get there, but also having the confidence to say we can do it? All those guys have to pan out. And you have to have the same success that you had a year ago with all those question marks pan out. Milton's got to be as good, or Ajomo's got to be as good as Milton. Keely's got to play at least as good as Slay. Gardner Johnson, Sidney has to have 6 picks and be a ball hawk and be a better tackler. Trotter's got to have 130 tackles. Campbell's got to pan out and help out. Jalix Hunt's got to be Josh Sweat. Tyler Steen's got to be Becton. And again, Landon will be back. So you're the significant injuries left guard in the interim. Long term is the player development. I'm not concerned about the Landon injury. As long as Landon's back for Kansas City, the Rams, the Bucks, and also Denver, whatever. Okay? Let's see here. Okay. The guy was on the 28th ranked pass defense in pro football. And you thought he was going to come in here and give you Slay performance? Man, do you really lean on Howie? Sills, what are you making before the season starts? There's only one thing I'm doing. I'm waiting for that off week during Labor Day, and I'm waiting to see if anybody drops a kid in my lap. I'm not doing anything. You guys went Timo shopping, as John McMullen would say. And I'm going to sign a guy and look at some of the players that some of these other people have released. You're not making any moves. What are you going to do? Make another move for corner? You're admitting then that Ringo blows and that you got to move on from him. You could make the argument you could cut him. Him and Adoree Jackson, you could cut. You're only going to keep so many guys. How many corners are you going to keep? I mean, Xander likes that guy, Darius Cooper, right? Well, if you keep more corners because there's a need, that jeopardizes him making the team. Do you understand how roster building works? Where are you in need more? Corner. The more that cornerback and safety position is not solidified, the more that hurts people like Johnny Wilson, Darius Cooper, and guys like that from making the team because you need more help there. You get that, right? I mean, there's only so many guys you're gonna hang with here. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. Yeah, I personally think he doesn't make the ball team. Dude, I think the Eagles like Kelee Ringo. How about this, too? Think about Ringo. Folks, one of the things that's disappointing here is that Kelee Ringo, the Eagles have invested 3 years in that guy. They've invested 3 years. And so far, that investment is not looking good. I mean, you've invested 3 years. Okay? Darius is a UDFA. Anus is a draft pick. And they might be pushing him. By the way, I like the fact that Michael Clay is working Cooper in the special teams. My problem with Sidney is that tackling is atrocious. Unless I'm unsure about his coverage ability. Yeah, I mean, folks, many of you guys are talking yourself into Sidney Brown. He's not a bad ball player. But, I mean, he's a drop-off. And once again, what and how does that affect Reed Blankenship's play? You're going to have that whole entire right side. And what do you do with Cooper? Still yet to be determined. Are you going to play him at safety or are you going to play him somewhere else in base? Or are you going to switch that up and play him in two high safety? Do you really want to keep him in the nickel or do you want to play him in a safety position where he's covering more of the middle of that zone? Dude, I got question marks on that guy's ability. No, I'll take that back. On his ability to stay healthy. Then why haven't they put him out there? Let me get here some more with Nick. He was asked the question, he evaded it. Was Nick about AJ and Devontae being on the field together? I mean, he was like, yeah, we'll get there. It was all word salad bullshit. Nothing really a lot here. So let me get to Jordan Mailata. Let me get to Jordan Mailata. Man, I like him. I like Jordan Mailata. He is a no shit guy. He said it. He goes, I got cooked out here. He goes, man, it just wasn't good enough. Myles Garrett put a whooping on him. He goes, he's the best. There's just no getting around it. Can you imagine watching that if you're a young player like Ty Robinson and you're a young player like Nolan Smith or you're a young player like Jalix Hunt and you're watching that guy school Jordan Mailata. You're watching him school him, like beat him up. And in practice, he's stuffing you. And you want to know how that guy does it. Dude, it really is something to watch one of the elite guys in the game. I had a chance to watch some elite guys once. And you watch how these guys play, like a Reggie White. I had a chance to go to an Eagle practice. And watching Reggie go through like one-on-one pass rush drills and watching those guys just try to set their feet and try to get their hands on him. And it didn't matter if they got their hands on him, their feet in right position. He was so good. He would run you over. He would take quick steps. He would get inside on you. He'd get the hump move on you. He'd give you a small headbutt. This guy had a bag of tricks, and you're watching him, and you're just in awe of it. You're in awe of it. Like when you get game film and you get a chance to watch Lawrence Taylor rush the passer, or you're watching Myles Garrett rush the passer, and you're a young player and you're watching people like Randy White and how they get their feet going and how they get their hands and how they get on corners and what have you. Some of these guys, God put their hands on their shoulder just a little bit longer than everyone and the rest of us. And you shake your fucking heads and you go, I can't do that. I can't do that. Like, I've never seen anybody do the Reggie White hump move. I've never, as good as JJ Watt is, I've never seen anybody ever duplicate that move. Take 350-pound offensive linemen and throw them 10 yards. Literally throw them 10 yards. And I saw Myles Garrett. I got a clip sent to me on on Mailata. He threw Mailata on his head. 6'8", 358 pounds. He threw him on his head. Just threw him on his head. Now, some would go like this. Sills, are you ripping Mailata? No. Do you know how many Myles Garretts that Jordan Mailata will play against this year? And by the way, when you're scheming him up versus one-on-one pass rush skills and pass rush drills, it's way different. So don't get upset with that he got killed in practice today. Just think of this. When you're going one-on-one, versus a game. In a game, you got slide protection. It's more schematically set up, and it's harder to read as a defensive guy. When you're a one-on-one, it's either two things. It's either going to be run blocking or it's going to be pass protection. So you already know, and when you're doing pass rush skills and pass rush reps and one-on-one pass rush drills, you can pin your ears and your natural ability can be able to take over because you don't really have the element if it's going to be a run or pass. Okay? And, right? No, Twiz. No. You stink. So you don't have to really worry about, because schematically when you set it up, it's not the same as in a game. But when you go one-on-one, Myles Garrett has that advantage every day. Threw him on his head. Actually, he threw him on his Twiz. Laid out like you got shot by a sniper. Yeah. So we're going, Sills, is that bad? No. Jordan Mailata is still a young player learning. When Jordan Mailata is 35 years old, he'll be pancaking people like that. That's no shame. Jordan's a great football player. Top 7 offensive tackles in pro football, which is quite a statement. Miles will be the defensive player of the year. Yeah, probably. He'll be in the conversation again. Okay? Yeah, greatness? Absolutely. You glaze weakness and average players. Great players? Yeah. You glaze Nolan Smith. I'll glaze Myles Garrett. Sure. You glaze Jalen Hurts. Sure. No problem. Keep glazing Nolan Smith. Like I said, comparing Nolan Smith to Myles Garrett, it's like comparing a lawnmower and a Ferrari. My guy, Aziz Ujalara, or Daso Uche Kuche. Oh man. We have a great team. Okay. Congratulations to you. It's easy to glaze the best players in the league on a crappy team. Well, not everybody's fortunate to be on a great team like Hurts. Again, thank you. Because not everybody's on a good team and a good organization like Joe Burrow and them guys. Okay. And, right? I guess. Jesus Christ. I don't know what you're saying, dude, when you do that. Do you want me to say okay? Yeah. Sure. How many great teams are there in the NFL? 4? Again? Okay. Yes. I don't know. What? I'm not sure where this guy's going. Are you looking for me to validate your takes? Because, okay, yeah, I guess. Myles Garrett is a Hall of Famer. I mean, right. We're glazing a Hall of Famer. Okay. All right. I guess. Jacorian Bennett shut down Jamar Chase. You act like this guy got fucking worked. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Okay. Enough of the nonsense. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no. Does he really? That's awful, man. He said yesterday that he was sick. I did not know that. We send our love to the guy, man. That's terrible. Let's make sure we send some love out to the dude, man. I didn't know he had COVID. He might not be on tomorrow then. Okay. All right. Dude. Okay. Oh, my God. So we're going to make sure we send some love to him. Yeah, Philly 500's got COVID, man. That's our boy, man. We really dig that guy. We do. Let's see. I know. Look at this. Damn, COVID's still a thing? I think. Nah, Sills, coming on tomorrow for sure. Really? That's great. I'll make sure I send him a text because he told me he couldn't today, but he's going to try to make sure him and Mark come on tomorrow. All right? Sills 500 said he's got the dog in him, and he's going to be there no matter what tomorrow. That's my boy. You see that, man? Making a total commitment to being there. Making sure that you're a winner. Making sure that you never miss the big Sills show. That's what I'm talking about. That's commitment. Making sure you show up every day. And you don't take plays off. And you don't take – this guy's no Jordan Davis. Philly 500 still going to go live earlier to cover the Eagles joint practice. Respect. Absolutely, man. That's my boy. I dig it. I got to pay some bills. I haven't taken one break yet. Have I? Holy shit. Xander's going to kick my ass. Xander, have I taken a break yet? Holy cow. I got to do one more at the top too then. Guys, I apologize. Big Sills here, man. Don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America, folks. I tell you, man, we're so proud to have them here on the program with thousands of attorneys, coast to coast. They are the number one injury law firm in all of the world, not just in America, the world. I told you about the family here in Pennsylvania that initially an insurance company came in and wanted to give them a settlement for $650K. They got $30 million. Or the family down in Florida that initially was offered $35,000 or $350,000. They ended up getting nearly $20 million in settlement. If you're ever injured, Uber, anything, thousands of attorneys will take care of you guys. Do me a favor. Log on to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. And do me a favor. Tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the number one digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Hit the like button. Big Sills here. We appreciate you guys coming aboard. Don't forget, right after the program, we will have a special edition Birds 365. John was out there at NovaCare with the Browns. And from what I'm understanding, it was not very pleasant. And the Browns took it to him again. So now look, they could be working on a variety of things. Okay. Again, just put that all in perspective. Okay. Okay. Just put that all in perspective. So John will give you more of an insight because he was out there. That'll be at the top of the hour. Before I get back into the Eagles here. So Michigan and the NCAA, the National Communist Association of America, is going to come out with a so-called penalty for Michigan. The NCAA still believes that they have teeth, and they still believe that they are somebody important. Leon, love you, bro. Hey, Leon, I got to tell you, man, I appreciate you becoming a YouTube member, but I got to tell you, man, that's not going to get you any closer to joy. You got to impress. Joy said this, Leon. You got to impress Big Sills. Okay? You got to impress Big Sills before I can let you talk to my girl. Okay? I don't know. Take's got to be good. By the way, don't let a chick know that you get your heart broken like that. Don't ever show that. Don't be like me. Because once you're married for over 30 years, you're dead. It's over with. I can't even ask my wife if she loves me anymore. You know what she looks at me? Really? I mean, it's not working. So just take it from Big Sills. And trust me when I tell you, if you marry someone that's really hot, you'll be in misery for the rest of your life. If you marry someone fat, you're going to be fed and loved. You're going to have to pick and choose. Okay? Trust me when I tell you. Good-looking women, I don't know. All right? If you marry a fat chick, you're going to be loved and you're going to be fed. Okay? But if you marry a hot woman, take it from Big Sills. A lot of pain. A lot of pain. Okay? Hey, look at it. Okay? Oh, Jack, I know, man. Yeah, let me finish up. So Connor Stallion, because they had Spygate, and hey, get this. So the NCAA, that National Communist Association of America, truly believes that you're going to put sanctions on Michigan, one of the darling programs from Fox Sports. Dude, TV networks, they now run college football. Hey, yeah, we're going to pretend that we're going to come in and we're going to put sanctions on Michigan. Are you fucking crazy? You're lucky the Big Ten and the Southeastern Conference even recognize you. It would not shock me in the next 3 years if the Big Ten and the SEC go, you know what we should do? Why don't we just form the Premier League of college football? Screw the NCAA. We'll make a commissioner up. We'll hire Nick Saban as commissioner, and we'll go from there. I mean, Michigan's, like you said, Michigan's a top 5 university. You're not putting any sanctions. You might take a couple scholarships away. So what are you going to do? You're going to go to Fox Sports and go, we're going to take Michigan off TV, and we're not going to be able to broadcast the Ohio State-Michigan game, or you can't play in the playoff. Oh, my God. Those fascists think that they still have pull. I mean, they do. Work for the state. Make the state of college football great. These students get nothing. The players get nothing. You get nothing. Like that old movie, Hogan's Heroes. Some of you don't even know what I'm talking about. That's all right. You get nothing. Well, that days are over, dog. If I were Michigan, I would look at the NCAA and do this. Kiss my ass. I'm not doing anything you say. You can put all the sanctions you want on me. I don't care. I don't care. So get this. They won't penalize programs for stealing players off of rosters. But some kid sitting as an intern in the stands taping a sideline is the thing. It's like ESPN supporting somebody with a cannoli in women's sports, and they're trying to tell me Sydney Sweeney is a bad thing in jeans. Oh, hey, I know that I'm not the smartest clam in the ocean or the smartest clam on a plate at Hooters, but I will tell you this. I know I know the difference between that and the other. Holy shit, man. You got to be kidding me. Right? All right. So, would you have any interest in Odell Beckham? Anyone? Eagle fans, he still wants to play. I didn't know he was still alive. Hey, do you have any interest in Odell Beckham being your number 3 receiver? Does he have anything left? No? So you think Jahan Dotson's better than Odell Beckham? Nothing. We have too many receivers now. Really? I think you've got 2. Dotson's fine. Why? Because Hurts doesn't throw to the number 3 guy anyway, right? Yeah, you're probably right, senor. Hurts can't find a third wideout anyway. Why would you need Odell Beckham? I mean, would they have 33 passes? What was that number for the Eagles a year ago? I think it was 35 total passes that were completed by the third wide receiver for the Eagles. You're right. You don't need a number 3. Sills, I know how he doesn't want to admit it. He doesn't want to admit he got it wrong, but at what point does he try to fix cornerback 2? And we don't want to use wide receiver 3. You know when he says he's wrong? When Cooper's out there. He's not going to make another move. He's not going to trade right now for another corner. Listen to it. So a year ago, you got Q. You know, everyone was telling me that Cooper was going to be a corner. I'm like, no, he's going to be a safety. And the Eagles don't want to put him out there. Vic said earlier that the roster would dictate where he plays in base. Well, I don't know how much more you need to see where he should play in base. Not that that's a big deal. 70% of the time you're going to be a nickel. So he's either going to be in the nickel. And I make this point to you. Look, let me go here and show you one thing here. So to some of your points about cornerback 2 not being that big an issue. Let me, and I did this exercise with you guys before. So let me do it again. Okay. Eagles schedule. And I'm going to show you something here. Okay. Do you need to have 2 really good corners against Dallas? No, you don't. CeeDee's going to be in the slot. Well, what does that mean? Well, I want Cooper at nickel then. And George Pickens and Q will travel. Dallas doesn't have another guy. So against Dallas, you don't need that. I'm keeping him at nickel in that Cowboy game. In the Kansas City game, the problem you're going to have here is that Mahomes spreads the ball around. But Rashid Rice is going to be suspended. He's not going to play in that game. So you're going to have Worthy. Well, Q's going to be in a zone, right? And he'll travel with Worthy. I want Coop in the middle of the field at nickel in that Kansas City game. Why would I want him on the corner when Mahomes is going to attack the middle of the field? Here's the game, and here's the 2 games you got to start concerning yourself with. Okay, Los Angeles, because you have Puka Nacua and you have Devontae. This is where you're going to need 2 corners. This is where you might see Cooper out at the perimeter, and you'll have Q traveling probably with Nakua. Tampa Bay, if Godwin's back, you'll have Godwin and Buka, and you'll have Mike Evans. That's going to be a difficult game for the Eagles. If your situation still with your corner is still the same, and Buka's going to be a really great player. Mike Evans is going to be a tough cover still, even as old as he is. And Godwin still probably might be coming off of the PUP list by that time as well. So, again, Rashid Rice's hearing is September 30th, giving him the ability. Okay, Senor, thanks. I didn't realize that. So he'll be able to play the first 4 weeks. Okay. Then you got Denver. I mean, Denver doesn't really have a lot of skilled guys, so I'm keeping Cooper probably in the middle there at nickel or safety. New York, you got Neighbors, right? Q could travel with him. Minnesota will be interesting because you have Addison and Jefferson and the tight end. That tight end's a pretty good ball player in that offense. But again, it's going to come down, how good is J.J. McCarthy? Still yet to be determined, but they've got the skilled people to make that a little interesting in there. Green Bay, I don't know about – I think Green Bay's a good team, but I don't think they're exceptional. I don't think Green Bay's exceptional at anything. You know, I just think they're good. They're like a 10-win team, and they're good, but they're not exceptional anywhere. I don't think. I mean, I don't believe that quarterback's exceptional. I think that quarterback is like okay. Detroit will be a very difficult game to defend. They got a great tight end in Laporte. They've got Jameson Williams. They've got Ahmad St. Brown. And Goff can throw the ball around. I probably would think Cooper could play outside on the corner and the perimeter there in that game. But Goff likes to attack the middle of the field. Now, again, it's a different coordinator. So that's going to be a whole different putt there with that. Yeah, I want to see that Detroit game. Because the Detroit game is the game we all missed and didn't get a year ago. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the game that everybody wanted to see. Okay? That truly. Okay? Let's see here. Dallas, same thing. Chicago, I keep Coop inside. Chargers, I keep him inside. Washington, I would keep him inside. I'll tell you what. I wonder what Landon's injury is going to mean to the tush push too. I mean, are they going to be more apt not to run that early in the season? Right? All right. I got to do some more business here. Don't forget, Birds 365 at the top here. Our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America, folks. You know, I say this to you all the time. Family-owned, family-run. John Morgan got into injury law because of one thing. His brother was taken advantage of by a company. And John said, no way. And his brother was permanently paralyzed. You know, people think that John just got into the business because John got into the business. He didn't. He got into the business because he was really devastated that his brother and a company did not take care of him and was permanently injured and permanently paralyzed. This is a family story. It's why Morgan & Morgan's the number one injury law firm on the planet. Why? Because of that story. Again, folks, people think that, you know, he goes out there chasing these companies and all this and going, no, he did this because of his brother. And so that's why they're number one. Thousands of attorneys from coast to coast. Do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the #1 digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Listen to this. So Taylor Swift being on new heights with the Kelseys broke the record for the most concurrent viewers on YouTube for a podcast. Peaking at 1.3, it surpassed Donald Trump being on with Joe Rogan as the most viewed live event and a podcast show in history. The latest episode of Travis and Jason Kelce's podcast, get this, like now, at 10 million viewers, and it crashed it crashed YouTube. Oh my God. Dude, that's crazy. And how many people viewed that thing? She is a magnet when it comes to like people viewing her. I mean, it was her first podcast, I guess. And YouTube said, get this. So YouTube came in, and I guess there was a glitch in the thing, right? And YouTube came in and they fixed it right there on the spot. It usually takes like whatever to get these things done. YouTube was watching this thing, and I mean, they put it back on its rails here, but I'm looking at the numbers now. In the last 20 hours, it's up over 25 million. This thing's expected to get over 190 million views. Hey, this is the power of streaming here. Holy cow. First time she's ever done it. It was her first podcast she's ever been on. You talk about setting up to Kelsey's. Oh my God. Is that thing insane? Sales awesome show. Hope everyone has a good night. Jack, thank you, man. We have a lot of fun here. Go back and forth, taking swings at one another. Why, man? What's your problem with her? Who cares? I could care less. I don't know what song she sings. Anybody that moves the needle, okay? Anybody that moves the needle, I'm a fan of. Okay? I turned down Taylor Swift on my show. Of course, I have her number. No, I got your sister's number. Oh, man. You're too easy, man. Twiz, seriously. You're like T-ball. The guy's like T-ball. You know? Just put it right there on. You put it right there on the T-ball and you just knock it out, right? Holy cow, man. Too good. I believe we're going to try tomorrow. We're going to try the Battle Royale. I don't know how this is going to go because Philly 500, man, he's got COVID, but he's hanging in there. All right? He is. He's my boy here. Hey, by the way, John McMullen was out there at NovaCare. Make sure you stay tuned. He'll give you the skinny on what he saw out there. A lot of people didn't see a lot of good things out there. You get John's view on it. Make sure you check him and Xander out. We appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. Joe, Xander, thank you. 2 to 6. We are out. We'll see you on the flip side.